CBS's Nancy Cordes at the White House says the two men talked about trade and the sale of Tik Tok.
The president still hasn't revealed any details about who exactly would be buying Tik Tok, whether they'd be buying all of it, whether they need to create a new algorithm. All those details are still up in the air, but the president claims that they are moving in that direction. He also said that he might be traveling to China to meet with Xi Jinping sometime next year.
The president also said Xi would come to the U.S. Democratic and Republican versions of a bill to keep the government funded past October 1st have failed in the Senate, leaving Minority Leader Chuck Schumer fuming.
We have only a week left. We're saying clearly, let's sit down, let's figure this out. But Republicans have now left town with no sign they want to avoid a shutdown.
The failure of the continuing resolution in the Senate does increase the chance of a partial shutdown. Tens of thousands of people are expected to travel to Glendale, Arizona this weekend to pay their respects to conservative activist Charlie Kirk. CBS's Andres Gutierrez says the president and vice president will speak at the memorial.
Turning Point USA, the organization Kirk founded, says more names will be announced leading up to the service. Now, State Farm Stadium can hold more than 60,000 people, but organizers are also opening an overflow venue next door at Desert Diamond Arena to help manage the large crowds they're expecting.
CBS News has seen a memo sent to state and local police that says federal law enforcement agencies are, quote, tracking several threats of unknown credibility against people planning to attend Sunday's tribute. The man prosecutors say spent weeks plotting to kill President Trump a year ago at his country club in West Palm Beach is preparing to present his defense on this, the seventh day of his trial.
Routh is representing himself. He's expected to present his own witnesses. Last September, Secret Service agents fired at Routh as he was allegedly hiding in bushes and pointing a rifle at Trump at his West Palm Beach golf course. While cross-examining an investigator, Routh said he never fired a shot and had no intention of shooting Trump. His daughter, Sarah, has been attending the trial every day.
He's never wronged anybody. He's always been devoted to helping other people, and he doesn't understand why there's not more support.
If convicted, Routh could face life in prison. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Estonia says 3 Russian fighter jets entered its airspace without permission today in an incursion that lasted 12 minutes. It's the 5th time this year Russia has violated Estonian airspace. The Dow is up about 1/3% at this hour. This is CBS News.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
A body is found. Is it the man accused of killing his 3 daughters? That's one of the stories coming up. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, Heather, Global Credit Union has our update. Let's start in Tacoma, where road work has 2 right lanes blocked eastbound on the Narrows Bridge. Also, your Jackson Avenue on-ramp is shut down. The bumper-to-bumper backup starts near Cheney Stadium to mid-span. That's a 3-mile backup. Tacoma to Olympia, a 1-hour commute. You've got a 4-mile backup through JBLM starting near Thorn Lane, and then more crowding heading into Olympia. Linwood to Seattle, plan on 25 minutes. Already crowded from Northgate in the downtown. Eastbound 2 is now solid between Monroe and Sultan. This is just volume. And east of Snoqualmie Pass, those backups along Lake Ketchlis are thinning out, but we still have a 3-mile thick backup from the summit over to the lake. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Heather Bosch. A deadly car versus pedestrian accident in Seattle's Beacon Hill neighborhood. Live to the scene in KIRO News Radio's James Lynch. James?
Heather, this accident happened at about 9:30 this morning. SPD tells us that an Enterprise rental box truck was traveling southbound on Beacon Avenue South when it struck a pedestrian at the intersection of South Portland Street. SPD Detective Brian Pritchard tells us more.
Officers arrived and found an elderly female that had been struck by the vehicle, and unfortunately she was pronounced deceased at the scene.
Now, they do tell us that the driver of that box truck stayed on the scene and was cooperating with police. They cleared him of any impairment and he drove that truck away. Police also encourage everyone to be extra careful when crossing the street, particularly one as wide as Beacon Avenue South. They cross in a crosswalk or at the intersection. Live in Beacon Hill, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Thank you, James. Human remains found near Leavenworth are believed to be those of Travis Decker. Decker's accused of killing his 3 young daughters, whose bodies were found at an area campground in June. And Ryan Moody with the Chelan County Sheriff's Office says authorities never gave up the hunt.
This was part of an ongoing effort. We've collaborated with the U.S. Marshals, State Patrol, FBI, and a number of other agencies to leave no stone unturned.
DNA testing is still pending, but he says clothing and personal items found at the scene strongly suggest it is Decker. Seattle City Attorney Ann Davison is suing firearm maker Glock, claiming their guns can too easily be converted into illegal machine guns. She tells KIRO 7 TV.
We are finding that a lot of juveniles have these modified Glocks with those switches, and to me that's very scary.
And she says officers are finding shooting scenes riddled with shell casings. No comment from Glock. Seattle Children's Hospital says 2 formerly conjoined twins are now home, crawling, talking, and thriving. The hospital says after months of planning for the rare procedure, 30 specialists worked to separate the twins, Allie and Elle, who were joined at the hip. The 18-hour operation took place in February. The Seattle Storm season came to a heartbreaking end last night. They lost by just 1 point to the Las Vegas Aces, 74-73. ESPN reports Erica Wheeler gave Seattle the lead with 18 seconds left.
Diggins and Wheeler for the lead. Wheeler got it! And Seattle takes a 1-point lead.
But Las Vegas answered with a putback shot to retake that lead. The Aces move on in the WNBA semifinals. The Seattle Mariners begin a 3-game series against the Astros in Houston today. They are tied for first in the AL West. Those 2 teams are tied. First pitch is at 5:10. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine today with highs in the mid-70s. It's 64 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO Newsradio.
Hey there, happy Friday, September 19th. I'm Jake Skorheim, sitting alongside Spike O'Neill. Happy Friday, Spike.
Happy Friday, Jake. It's gonna. I gotta be honest. It's gonna be hard for me to be happy today. It's gonna be hard for me to be happy today.
Is this?
I apologize to being so transparent in my emotion.
Is this a real emotion or is this fake emotion?
The Seattle Storm eliminated from playoffs. I think I'm gonna I'm gonna camp outside of the arena with a two-bird statue this afternoon just to show solidarity for the.
Is that what you're gonna do?
All kidding aside, what a phenomenal little burst they gave us at the end of the season. 7th seed. Took the 2 seed to 3 games, 1 point loss.
Catching me off guard. I don't really follow the team.
I gotta be honest, I really don't either. But
do you follow the team?
I got caught up at the end of the year when they had a late surge to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I got a dear friend, Chet Buchanan, who does announcing for, I heard to say, the Vegas Aces. He's the in-house announcer, the PA guy. Got a ring from him last year when they won.
Really?
Yeah. It's admirable. It's a great asset to the community. All this Mariner talk, we're awash in postseason. Excitement for the Mariners. And I apologize for grabbing the wheel of the ship and taking it off a stormy cliff, if you'll pardon the pun.
Good Lord. All right.
Sorry,
they're out of the tournament? Is that the news?
They're done. They're going to be watching on TV.
Let's move on to first things first.
Real news happened. Real news happened. And this is
No, finish your WNBA thing.
No, I'm done. The team.
If you have more WNBA stuff, I don't want to step on your toes. You're clearly very moved about it.
I was
Let
touched.
me ask you this question, because you're a huge WNBA fan.
Sure.
People don't know that about you.
They're women, right?
How many games did you go to this year?
None.
What?
None. Not
You're
one.
such a massive fan.
I'm a massive fan. I'm afraid to go.
We spent the first 5 minutes of the show talking about it. What's some of your favorite players on the Storm?
Couldn't name one if you put them in a lineup.
What?
Couldn't name one.
But you brought it up, and it's the start of the whole show.
Because they lost. Sorry.
All right.
I couldn't resist.
I
have horrible impulse control. Have you noticed that?
No, I haven't caught that yet.
Yeah,
horrible. We're coming up on our 1-year anniversary working together, and I'm learning these new things about you.
I'm a WNBA fan with horrible impulse control who doesn't really follow the team.
Who's your favorite WNBA player outside of Caitlin Clark?
I don't know, but I hate Angel Reese. Hate her. If you put Angel Reese in a weekend.
She's on the cover of 2K, the new basketball game. Is it 2K26? Is that what it is?
And a box of cereal. So she's made it. If you put Angel Reese in a gymnasium for a weekend and lock the door, she'd finish the weekend with 10 points and 10,000 rebounds.
This feels... That's a pretty good joke. That's a pretty good joke. All right, should we move on to other stuff?
Yeah, because there's some things that should have been first. I don't want to point the finger, but should have been first things first today.
Somebody derailed us just a little bit. All right, let's get to it. You know what I should do? You know what would be fun, just as a way to
some kind of musical
discourage
bumper?
this from ever happening again?
What?
I should just keep asking you about WNBA questions that I know for a fact you couldn't answer.
I was at least honest about it.
You were
I
honest.
owned it. I didn't try. I didn't
because
bring
you
up.
couldn't. Yeah, you
I
can't
didn't
lie
bring up
about it.
well, I could have brought up a roster real
No,
quick
I would have
on
watched
Google.
you, and I would have told the audience and said he's Googling. He's Googling right now.
No, I care too much about you and the audience.
All
and
right,
the show's
so let's get
integrity.
to the biggest story of the day.
Yes.
First things first. All right. This story's crazy. They finally, it's not confirmed yet. They're still doing some DNA evidence that needs to come back, some testing. But they think they have found the remains of Travis Decker this is the part of the story. You and I talked about this on the very day that the massive search went out for this guy. And we had Luke Ducion. I remember he was sitting right there. Mm-hmm. We had Luke Ducion, and I believe it was when the FBI had gotten involved. You had all this help from federal authorities and Washington State Patrol, local officials there. And what did we say at the time? We said generally these things tend to be resolved by finding a body within a mile.
Within a mile. You said it. We could pull the tape. We don't have to. You said within a mile of the crime scene.
This was
usually
closer than
statistically. That's where you find it.
And how far away was it from the site of the original killing? Which was just
0.74 miles.
0.74 miles.
And then my first moment of genuine outrage was, wait a minute, you guys just a month ago had a massive multi-agency search, a grid search. I mean, no stone unturned, right? And nothing. And I did some research, and we don't have any numbers since July. And to be fair, the search was kind of de-intensified. It was kind of toned down.
Well, there was a point at which they said, listen, we've got, I think a lot of people were assuming that he was no longer alive.
Right.
So maybe the threat wasn't there. And so they said, if this is going to be shifting into more of a, search that with the idea that it's a body that we're going to find.
Recovery,
There's other things that Chelan, that's not the biggest sheriff's department in the world. They've got resources spread pretty thin.
Exactly.
So where do we focus our money and our time? And it wasn't, going to be, all hands on deck anymore.
And by last accounting, they'd spent about $6 million in resources, which is justified.
Absolutely.
Well spent. And, you didn't find him anything in that massive grid search a month ago. We hear this morning that they found remains that they believe to be Decker, and they found other clothing and artifacts that give them the strong indication that it is Decker's severely decomposed remains.
What this guy, just to mention it real fast, what this guy is accused to have done is just, it was nightmare fuel. It's what everybody was talking about.
Yeah.
His three sweet little girls, I think Peyton, Olivia, and Evelyn, and that he was accused to have killed. And it was just the worst story. It's every parent's worst nightmare. His poor wife, poor former wife, I guess, her daughters are gone.
Yeah.
That's who needs to be remembered in this story. I'm relieved that they found him. I can't say that I'm upset that if it is him that he's dead at all. I mean, that's where this guy was heading.
No, I couldn't agree more.
And he would not have gotten that in Washington State. We don't have capital punishment in Washington State. And so, this probably ended. I imagine this was day one that he went missing after the murder of the girls.
Yeah.
What's crazy to me and what I still don't understand is how is it possible with all of those resources that 0.74 miles from the original crime scene is where they find this body. How did that search grid not turn him up?
The same question that jumped out of my mind. Are you kidding me? I mean, we've got some audio from Sheriff Mike Morrison of Chelan County, right?
Chelan County Sheriff. He talked to Fox 13, and they talk about where the remains were found.
We're about 0.74 miles away from the initial crime scene, right around an elevation of about 4,000 feet. So it was still outside of the initial 3 search areas that we conducted earlier throughout the summer, and this was just an expansion of the search area.
Then you talked a little bit about those first 3 searches that everybody was following.
Initially, we did the first one with Washington State Patrol's crime lab, and also with our detectives. The second one was with the U.S. Marshal Service, some volunteers, and some of our Forest Service deputies, along with other volunteers. And then our final one was with the FBI and, of course, the U.S. Army's intelligence agency.
Now, again, they haven't confirmed the DNA is his yet, although they do think, based on the items that were found with the body and the clothing and things like that, that they have a pretty good idea that it's him. They spoke a little bit to that. Ryan Moody, he's the chief of special operations with Chelan County Sheriff's Office.
There was mostly clothing that was linked to him, and some other personal items.
Sheriff Morrison talked about confirming the DNA, what that process is.
We won't know for sure until tomorrow. I've already worked with our detectives in the Washington State Patrol's crime lab. We're going to rush some results over there. We're asking to see if we can get DNA returns by the end of tomorrow. But we do feel pretty confident that there's a high probability this is him, just based off the clothing, some other personal items that we found on scene. But again, we're not going to say for 100% certainty until we get the results back.
Then they talked about the state of the remains as well.
We had severe decomposition. We also had spread of the remains, which is consistent with animals getting into it, which we figured we would find if we were at this point of the search.
Finally, he has a clip here. Ryan Moody, again, Special Operations with Chelan County Sheriff's Office, on the emotions of finding this body. These guys have been, a lot of these guys have been round the clock. This has been their main focus for months now. And having to live, when you think about how hard it would be to be in law enforcement, you have to confront, you and I, we see it to some extent, but like most people listening, there is a point at which we can make the decision to turn our heads away and to stop reading a news story, stop looking at something because it's just too much for us. These guys are kind of the final defense, and they're the final person fighting for whoever rights were taken away. In this case, those beautiful little girls whose life was taken from them. These guys are out there trying to bring justice to the person responsible, so they can't turn away.
Justice, closure for the family, for the community,
for the mother,
safety for the community, that this person still is in at large.
Yes, and so you're carrying all that. You imagine carrying all that for months, and then you start to feel at a certain point, I can't help but think that the law enforcement on some of these cases that stretch on for a long time, or years in some cases. Thank God this didn't stretch on for years, if it is him, obviously. But you think about the weight that would just slowly build up and build up. And they have big shoulders. They're doing the job because they're good at it. And, I think God put them in these positions because they do a good job. But think about that, the emotional weight that you would carry when something like this, maybe you're finally seeing some light at the end of the tunnel, and maybe you can close this case down and give everybody, like you were saying, the closure that they need. He talked a little bit about that emotion.
Was it a surprise? Yes and no. I'd say we were always hopeful that we would find him, but after this long, you try not to get your hopes up. It was a huge relief. Just especially to see it in like my detective's eyes. The amount of work and the amount of stress that they've gone through.
You and I were talking a little bit before the show, and I looked this up because I was interested. We talked about the square mile, or the
1 mile
grid,
from the scene.
mile.
Statistically, that's what you're going to find.
And I was trying to think in my head, like, how hard would that be to find? Because with the resources that went into this, and that they had so many people on the ground, and they had canines,
cadaver dogs.
Dogs. You have eyes in the sky. We had all those stories about like helicopters who were spotting people hiking and stuff.
Right.
How is it possible that with all of those resources, they don't lock down that initial square mile where you would be looking? And because you would think all those resources poured into that smallish area would have turned something up.
Wouldn't you go in every direction? How is this new expansion? This wasn't in the first 3 areas searched.
Wasn't in the first area searched?
How do you not look 3/4 of a mile from the crime scene?
I have no idea.
I don't understand the science.
And we're not being critical. We're just wondering.
I'm curious. How do you? My first thought was, they found the guy. Well, how did they not find him last time? What kind of cadaver dogs are we using that they can't? But they didn't. They hadn't even searched an area just south of Leavenworth, 3/4 of a mile from the crime scene. And again, I don't know the intricacies, and it's like as you've very well stated, it's an impossible job.
Yeah.
It's an incredible responsibility, burden that they're going to carry with them, and the need to complete this task for the family, for the community, for justice itself. I can't fathom having to do this for a living. But how do you not look 3/4 of a mile?
For me, this kind of dispels some illusion I had that you have like a bloodhound that can smell something from a mile away or something.
Right.
They can track somebody through through wetlands or whatever it might be.
500 yards of the most foul smell. Right.
Exactly.
How do you not?
How do they not find this guy? And he's literally, from what I have heard, I've never had this firsthand experience, but from what I have heard, when the decomposition of a human body is not something to be easily ignored.
Right.
And so you wonder, like, how did that go? I also am still unclear. Did they just stumble upon it? Was it just a new search grid? They finally went, oh, okay, this is an area we haven't crossed off.
That's what I'm getting from the Fox 13 story, is that they expanded their search into this area south of Leavenworth they hadn't previously searched.
So we still don't know, based on the stories that we have at least, what they're saying, because, again, the decomposition, everything, how his life was ended. I mean, did he do it himself?
We don't know.
Did he fall over?
Right.
Yeah, we just don't know yet. But I looked into a mile search grid. Look at this. This is interesting. It's a larger area than you would think, actually. So a 1 square mile is 640 acres, which is actually, when you start to think of it like that, I'm trying to give a little bit of grace.
No, as you should.
640 acres is a lot. And we're not talking about like a football field that's just flat and you can just see out in the distance.
Right.
We're talking about craggy,
horrific
rocks,
terrain. Right.
Horrific terrain.
Luke said he was out on the trail and you could look down, seriously, look down in that area. He went hiking in that area.
Yeah.
And you could look down 20 feet from the trail and have places that there's no chance you see
No
us
chance.
down.
And just around a corner, you could, somebody could be, and you would never see them.
I appreciate you doing that. That's good to show these guys a grace.
5,280 feet long on each side. If you had a point in the middle, that's what a square mile would be. And then also, which is kind of obvious. And then the total search area in square feet would be 27,887,400 square feet.
Yeah.
That starts to put it into a little bit more of a context for me, where I don't as quickly jump on the blame. Although I do, I don't blame the cops, the canine cops. I'd like to have a word,
guys.
Come on, guys.
Come here. Come on.
Figure it out. But hopefully this is him, and the DNA would confirm it, and that would be really great to have that story put to bed. All right, real fast. Let's end on a lighter note here in this segment. Did you see this washed out sign? Chris,
I saw this story.
Chris Sullivan has this, and it's on mynorthwest.com. You can check it out right now. We could probably post it up on the YouTube page too. Sorry, Laura, I didn't give you a heads up on that. But somebody noticed, actually, you remember Nicole Thompson, who used to produce Dory's show?
Of course.
So she sent Chris a note, and she said, "Hey, look at this! I just drove under this." And on the new toll signs that they're testing out on State Route 167 between Renton and Auburn, it says "snitch" on it, like 3 times. It says "snitch, snitch, snitch."
Right.
There's no I, but it's obviously they're.
I'm hoping it says "snitch."
I think it says "snitch."
I think it does.
SNTCHH. At least close to snitch. And so Chris reached out to Good to Go, and he said, is this to WashDOT? And he said, is this a mistake? Did somebody hack your system? Because we see news stories like that from time to time.
Yeah.
Somebody will hack the system, and then it'll be something kind of funny. Yeah, look at this. We're looking at this on YouTube right now. If you're not on YouTube already, you should join us live. You can download the app, KIRO News Radio, or you can go to youtube.com, search KIRO 97.3 FM, and find us, Jake and Spike Live. So he asked them, he said, hey, is this a hack? And they responded and said that they were just having some fun. They said, nothing wrong with a little bit of fun sometimes. And do you want them having fun like that, writing snitch?
I'd go with random collection of letters if I were them. I don't know if I'd cop to. No, I don't want them writing the word snitch 3 times. What are they asking for?
What's the context of snitch? Like, what is it supposed to mean?
They should have done Go Storm or something.
So,
Spike would have loved that. Yeah.
Go Mariners. Whatever. Let's go M's. Whatever. If you're going to have fun.
How about
randomly
sorry? How about sorry for tolling us?
Sorry for your money.
Sorry for tolling you on 167.
Or just put like $1,000.
Yeah.
$, $, $. That would have been
prank.
Appropriate.
Yeah.
And smiley faces with all the money they're going to bring in.
Free ride if you really want to play fun.
Isn't that bizarre that that's just a thing that they're doing? I guess whatever. They're having fun. And
do you remember when you could like whistle blow people driving in the HOVs? There was a phone number you could call.
They had to see something, say something?
Yes, there was a phone number you could dial, report people driving alone. And what they found was people just having a grudge and being vindictive and reporting people who weren't alone.
Of course.
Yeah, of course, because you can't trust people to do
people
something
nice. People abuse power all the time.
Amen.
The only time I approve of snitch lines.
Okay.
In life, is people who jump in the ferry line.
Oh yeah,
that's it. Which they removed.
Yes, they do. Oh, they removed that line.
I believe they took I believe they took that sign down.
Those people police their own.
Yeah, they do.
They really do.
You're not joking about that. Okay, we got a lot more coming up. We have more on the Jimmy Kimmel controversy. And Jimmy Fallon, another Jimmy, actually did something really funny last night in response.
They all they rallied as a talk show covenant last night.
Yes. We'll play some of that. It's pretty funny. And CNN, actually, surprisingly, CNN has a pretty deep dive into the timeline of events that led to Jimmy Kimmel being removed from the air from inside. So we'll tell you a little bit about that. It's interesting. Stick around. We're right back.
This hour is brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 17, Dave Craig, quarterback. All he did was figure out how to complete passes and how to win football games, and in the process, he won the hearts of not only the fans, but his own teammates. They loved the guy we used to call Mudbone.
The Seahawks go for 2 straight wins. Seahawks Saints kickoff Sunday at 1:05.
The 12s hear the Hawks right here on KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM.
With Amazon Business, smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
You're in your car every day, but when's the last time your car had a checkup? At Subaru of Puyallup, we make it easy with stress-free service. Open 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Swing by before work, after work, or whenever it fits your schedule. No hassle, no pressure, just expert care on your schedule. Your car deserves it, and so do you. Schedule your appointment today at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years.
That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us. Clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Metropolitan Markets, PCC, or Safeway. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
If you're a veteran struggling with your monthly bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage has some good news for you.
Rates have dropped recently, and this could be a great time for our veterans to think about a cash-out refinance to get out of your high-interest rate debt. For example, one of our clients had a 2.25% VA loan, but he owed more than $155,000 on credit cards and a home equity loan. So we paid off all of that debt and replaced his mortgage with a VA cash-out refinance. And the new VA loan saved him $1,268 per month. So give us a call and see if a VA cash-out refi can help save you money. And remember, with a VA loan, you can buy a home with no money down.
And you can help non-veterans as well.
That's right. If you have a conventional loan, we'll run the numbers and see if we can help save you money, too.
Honest advice you can trust from the VA loan experts, Best Mortgage. Call now, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
At Madrona Financial and CPAs, we believe there are 7 steps that must be taken in preparation for a successful retirement. Retirement needs more than just a basic income plan. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Thinking of a Kia EV? Act fast. Thousands in tax credits end September 30th. Visit KiaofEverett.com for our huge selection. Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch. The body of Travis Decker, wanted in the murders of his 3 young daughters, may have been found near Leavenworth. The Chelan County Sheriff says DNA testing is underway.
We're hoping to get results back and get a confirmation. Is this Mr. Decker or is it not? And we're also looking towards our medical team to go through and do an assessment of how long he had been deceased.
Answers could come as early as today. King County prosecutors have charged 2 brothers, aged 17 and 15, with second-degree assault and a hate crime in the beating of a transgender woman in Renton Monday. Both are expected to enter pleas in court this afternoon. 2 others just arrested in the case, a 16-year-old and a 25-year-old man, are set to make their first court appearances later today. Kroger says increased crime and regulations prompted it to close a South Everett Fred Meyer store, but the city council calls it corporate neglect. They passed a resolution to that effect last night. Everett Mayor Cassie Franklin says Kroger's leaving despite the city boosting security.
Kind of felt like a slap in the face.
The non-binding resolution also calls on the company to work with the city to repurpose that site. Safety's a concern at the upcoming memorial for conservative activist Charlie Kirk this weekend in Arizona. CBS's Andres Gutierrez.
Security is expected to be extremely tight. The Department of Homeland Security has classified the memorial as a level 1 security event. It's the same level of protection as the Super Bowl. It means that local, state, and federal law enforcement are all coordinating security.
There will be airport-style security and a strict no-bag policy. Protests continue in response to ABC pulling Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air after his comments that were critical of MAGA's response to Kirk's death.
What do we do? Stand up, fight back! Demonstrators protested outside ABC headquarters, and late-night hosts rallied around one of their own after ABC indefinitely suspended Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Tonight, we are all Jimmy Kimmel.
Late-night legend David Letterman was more blunt.
And you can't go around firing somebody because you're fearful or trying to suck up to an authoritarian criminal administration in the Oval Office.
President Trump even suggested revoking broadcast licenses for networks that cover him negatively.
That's CBS's Natalie Brand. On Wall Street, the Dow was up 195 points, NASDAQ ahead 128. KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Heather. We're busy in Tacoma. Roadwork has 2 right lanes blocked westbound on the Narrows Bridge. The Jackson Avenue on-ramp is closed for this work as well. And you're bumper-to-bumper starting near Cheney Stadium out to mid-span, a 3-mile backup here. Tacoma to Olympia is an hour and 10 minutes now. You've got a 5-mile thick backup through JBLM starting near Gravely Lake Drive, and then more crowding between Lacey and Olympia. Linwood to Seattle, you're up to a half hour. We're getting thicker between Northgate and the downtown. We now have a 7-mile backup eastbound between eastbound 2, that is, between Monroe and Sultan. Is just volume as folks avoid that big backup on eastbound 90. And speaking of, we now have scattered backups eastbound 90 between Snoqualmie Summit and Easton as we continue to recover from an earlier closure. North Bend to Ellensburg just spiked in 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's double the norm. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine today with highs in the mid-70s. It's 65 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Hope y'all are having a great Friday. Fridays are fun. I like Fridays. Spike, do you have any Friday traditions, by the way, before we get into this Fallon stuff?
I'm
sorry, Kimmel stuff?
If there's no WNBA game on.
If there's still, yeah, that's right.
Friday traditions, not really. I mean, used to be.
Yeah.
Friday, get here, you slide down the back of the dinosaur, yabba dabba doo time. Here comes the weekend, throw a big rack of ribs on the side of the car, watch it tip over, boom.
I imagine you have a lot more freedom, too. Your kids are now grown and out of the house.
Exactly.
So you're not bound by the routine of childhood things.
Exactly.
Yeah. We usually do, I usually pick up pizzas on the way home, and then we do like a movie night with the kids.
That's awesome.
Pop some popcorn and just, watch kids' movies.
Yeah.
That's you. I mean, they're still very small, so there's just not a ton.
Treasure it, buddy.
It's the best.
It is.
It honestly is. It's exhausting, super tiring, but it's.
Trust me when I tell you, you miss it when it's gone.
I miss it now. Did you have that feeling when you were a younger parent and your kids were younger? Did you have that like surreal, weird feeling where you go like, this is the pinnacle. This is the moment that I want to be in for the rest of life, but I know it can't last. And you're soaking up as much of those moments as you can. It's really hard to remind yourself of that because we get busy doing all this ridiculous stuff. And then you forget and you go, oh my gosh, these little people who live in my house with me, they're not going to be little for long. They're going to get bigger, and they're not going to go away, but the little version of them goes away.
Yeah, but they're replaced with somebody else that's just as amazing, just as incredible, just as wonderful.
Yeah.
Until they turn into teenagers, then you're ripping days off the calendar so you can kick them out of the house. Trust me.
Then you're waiting for them to have their own little ones so you can get a piece of that back.
Right, well, and then you can wreak havoc on the grandchildren.
Yes.
Spoil them rotten, pop them full of sugar and send them home.
Oh.
It's a wonderful cycle.
Yeah.
Now, it's funny. Somebody once said to me that, to take a moment, probably the greatest advice I ever got as on parenting is to just step back from a moment that you're in the middle of with the kids, good and bad. And just step back from it and look at it from the overall view of it and try to remember, like one of those mental snapshots.
Yeah.
Where you are in time right now. For the chaotic moments, the hair-pulling moments, and the little cuddle moments of watching a movie with popcorn, all those things. Just be aware of your surroundings. Take this in. Don't lose what you're sitting in the middle of. Don't miss the forest for the trees.
It's so fleeting.
It is.
It just goes so fast. That's the thing.
Can I come over for popcorn night tonight?
Sure.
Movie night?
Come on over. I'll get an extra pizza.
I thought about asking for your kids' football schedule because
you should come to a game.
You're telling me yesterday it's the last week of practice before the first game. I so want to go to Little League football.
It's super fun. We weren't gonna do any fall sports that we had all agreed that. We've just been overrun with stuff.
Because summer's busy with kids.
Summer's busy, just all this stuff. And so we were like, oh, wouldn't it be fun to take fall off? And the kids were like, let's do, they have chess club through their school and stuff. And so they were going to do chess club. And we were like, all right, that's great. That's 1 day a week chess club. And they would both go at the same time, which would be phenomenal.
That's fantastic.
And then one of them was like, I really want to play flag football. And then the other one was like, oh, well, I want to play too. And so now we have two, which means that every night of the week we have football practice.
Yeah.
And then we'll have 2 games on Saturday. Of course, they won't be at the same time or the same field. They'll be different times, different fields.
Gosh. You guys are having to divide and conquer to go one parent,
That's
one place.
That's only 2 of my 4 kids.
Yeah.
The other 2 aren't even online yet with like sports. They will be by next year. I'll have 3.
Next year, the third one will be. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to hire another nanny. I don't have any nannies, but if I did, they would just be running kids around.
Yeah,
that's
you're right. Find an Uber that can stay with you. Got a guest room? Get your own Uber driver. Just you put him up, pay him in room and board.
Yeah.
If you got an Uber driver who can cook,
even better.
Right?
Even better.
I miss Alice from the Brady Bunch. I wish everybody had
we need more Alice's. That was a lie. What a lie that was.
I don't know what Mike Brady did.
What a strange. We were going to get to Fallon's or Jimmy Kimmel stuff, which we'll get to in just
fired.
a minute. He's still technically not fired. Actually, not fired.
We're talking Kimmel, not Fallon. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to speak.
But Kimmel's technically not fired either.
And they're trying to offer him a way back
to get him back in. But let's go back to Alice for a second. What a strange scenario. of a middle-class family, right? They weren't supposed to be rich.
No.
They were just
no.
a middle-class family.
They were a blended family, but the mom didn't work.
Right? And
Carol didn't work.
They had a bunch of kids.
Six hungry mouths.
6 hungry mouths to feed.
8 and 9 if you count Alice.
And 9.
Feeding her too.
And what was the dog's name? Remember?
Tiger. Boom.
He was only around for one season.
Yeah.
And then
Much
Alice,
like Oliver.
And then Alice lives
Killed
under
the
the
show.
stairs.
Yeah. Right? Oh, I didn't. Right.
And they just.
Her room was under the
she
stairs.
Just pops in every once in a while, does stuff.
You know
on.
how they put it together? They had a black market meat connection.
Probably.
Sam the butcher.
I think you're right.
Right?
And he used to sell
And
bear parts.
He was he was trying to win Alice's heart.
I think you're right.
By getting him cut rate meats.
They got cheap
That's
meat.
how they were able to
paid
feed
for
that
Alice.
army they raised.
Yeah.
That one bathroom for 6 kids. That was the fantasy.
Yeah,
one
the whole
bathroom
thing
for
is-
6 kids?
Yeah.
Please.
The whole thing was ridiculous. But it was a fun show. And they sang, which was neat, when they went on to concert tour or whatever they did.
Oh, my God. That was the most horrible.
Okay. Well, we didn't get to what we plan on talking about,
That's
which
okay.
was the Jimmy Kimmel stuff.
Yeah.
Should we play really fast or should we save it for when we come back? This Jimmy Fallon monologue, which was actually pretty funny. I actually like this.
He did a nice job.
I've always
Kinda
thought Fallon was funny.
slamming the moment.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing about Fallon. He gets lumped in with the Colberts and the Kimmels, who I think anybody would admit are more political in their
yes.
topics.
Fallon learned from his predecessors to try to fly down the middle of the course.
Fallon, to me, seems more like a throwback to a Johnny Carson.
Absolutely right.
He's silly. He has fun with the guests. He's silly with the guests. Not that those other guys can't be. I just think Fallon purposefully tries to play it more down the middle.
Yeah.
Not something that Kimmel or Colbert did, and that's fine. That was
Or Letterman
a
before
different
them.
thing. Or Letterman.
We heard Letterman's comments in the news update.
I did hear Letterman.
Yeah.
When we come back, why don't we play this Fallon thing when we come back? It's pretty funny. And also, I can just give you a quick breakdown here real fast because I thought this was interesting. Did you see the CNN story about kind of the behind the scenes of Kimmel being let go?
Yeah, because there was immediate rush to everybody had the story. Everybody had the story wrong. There was speculation as to what led to what was the build up to.
So Monday night,
decision.
Monday night, I'll give you the quick elevator pitch. Monday night, he says the stuff that we played for you yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday night, he says something that was not backing down from what he said Monday night. So then people are starting to say, hey, there's a trend here. It's a sensitive moment. This is, something that people are now watching.
Right.
And I guess executives inside ABC, owned by Disney, were nervous that it would be escalated even further by Wednesday. At that same time, Brendan Carr, the FCC director, goes on that podcast, the Benny Johnson podcast, and says, hey, we can do this the hard way or we can do this the easy way. At that same time, you have those two distributors, you have Nexstar and Sinclair, who come out and say, we're not comfortable with what he's been saying.
Right.
Bosses at ABC, apparently, according to the NBC article, they call Jimmy in for a meeting.
Right.
And they say, we want to talk to you about what you plan on saying tonight in the monologue.
And what we'd like you to say, too.
We'd like you to de-escalate, turn the temperature down, I
yeah.
think is what they said, and apologize. And he said, that's not my plan. After that meeting, according to the CNN story, they said, we're going to have to pull him off the air as a way to protect the brand. ABC needs to protect its brand.
Yeah, fair.
And also they said, for some future date where they might be able to bring Kimmel back.
Right.
Now, who knows if maybe Kimmel doesn't want to come back after this? I don't know. That will play out as it
we'll
plays
see how
out.
it plays out, yeah.
I think he still has like 3 years left on his contract.
I think it was less.
Is it less
I
now?
thought it was less, yeah.
Well, it's more, it's he's got a chunk of time if he comes back. Anyway, we'll see how it all plays out. But all that to say, Jimmy Fallon had a funny thing last night in response to all of this. So we'll play that for you when we get back. And Piers Morgan and Don Lemon, two old guys who used to be more famous in news and are now just still in news, were screaming at each other, which was kind of entertaining. So we'll play you some of that too. All right, stick around. We'll be right back.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 17, Dave Craig, quarterback. All he did was figure out how to complete passes and how to win football games, and in the process, he won the hearts of not only the fans, but his own teammates. They loved the guy we used to call Mudbone.
The Seahawks go for 2 straight wins. Seahawks Saints kickoff Sunday at 1:05.
The 12s hear the Hawks right here on KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM.
Hey, are aches, injuries, or everyday pains slowing you down? Well, it is time to move better, feel stronger, and get back to doing what you love. IRG Physical and Hand Therapy is now accepting new patients, and no referral is needed. Their expert team offers personalized hands-on care to help you recover faster and stay pain-free longer. Shannon, what is it like to see new patients walk through your doors?
Rock, it's wonderful. You know why? It's because it's an opportunity for us at IRG to make a difference in someone's lives. It's so important that when people come in, they experience engagement, coaching, teaching. We build relationships with our patients, and we want to make it easy. We all know that healthcare has a lot of what I call minutia in it. We have a concierge call center. When you call, we're going to check your authorization, verification, certification, justification. We're going to find out everything we need to know about your insurance, and we're going to make it easy for you because we want you focusing on getting better.
And all you got to do is head over to irgpt.com to find the clinic nearest you, irgpt.com.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. This was funny. Last night, Jimmy Fallon had a response to the news of Jimmy Kimmel being taken off the air indefinitely, although indefinite doesn't mean forever. It could mean next week.
They're actually trying to mitigate the damages that they feel he's doing to himself.
They're trying to bring him back.
And the brand, what you very correctly pointed out.
Were you surprised at the... Well, we already got into this yesterday, but there was a big reaction to this Jimmy Kimmel thing. Mm-hmm. A big reaction. Jimmy Fallon, I think, had the appropriate type of response, which is to make a mention of it, and then he did what night shows do, or should do. He was funny about it, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, President Trump just wrapped up his 3-day trip to the UK, and he
looked incredibly handsome.
Yeah.
As always, his tie was
exactly the right length.
And his face looked
like a color that exists in nature.
Oh my God.
And his hair looked
better than Conrad's from the summer I turned pretty.
During the trip, protesters managed to project images onto the sides of Windsor Castle of Trump standing next to his good friend, Jeff
Goldblum.
Even though his administration still insists that he's not in the
Goldblum
file. Which we all know is absolute bull.
True.
Anyway, to sum it up, President Trump is
making America great again by restoring our national reputation, reinvigorating our economy, and rebuilding our military. I hereby nominate him for the Nobel Peace Prize.
And you can quote me on that.
See, that's funny. That's a funny response. People gnashing their teeth, it was too much. Jimmy Fallon's response, I think, is the appropriate one.
And they all had similar. I mean, Seth Rogen's was... Seth Rogen, I'm sorry, Seth Meyers. Meyers was like, I've always admired and respected Mr. Trump. He's a visionary, an innovator, a great president, even better golfer. If you ever heard me say anything bad, it was AI.
Yeah.
It's just...
I think what's his face? Jon Stewart had a similar, heaping praise upon...
Yeah, he leaned into it, yeah.
Now, is it mildly concerning that they all have the exact same joke? I don't know. I'll let you be
that's the joke you make.
I guess that's the joke you make.
Yeah, you feign
we don't have time to play this Don Lemon, Piers Morgan thing. We should play it in a little... Well, do we have time to squeeze it in real fast? All right. They were talking about cancel culture.
Yeah.
And so Piers Morgan has a show. Don Lemon has a van.
By the river.
He really does. He drives around in a van. Have you seen what this guy does?
No.
He just goes around because he was kicked off of CNN.
Yeah.
He goes around in his van and he jumps out and he puts a microphone in people's face. And he's almost like, you remember Billy on the street?
Oh, what's his last? Yes, I know exactly who you mean. Eichner? Eichner, yeah.
Who's very funny.
Yeah.
But Don Lemon is not a comedian.
Guerrilla reporting.
He goes around and he puts a mic in people's faces and he asks them questions. And Billy Eichner did it so funny because he would mirror whatever they were doing.
Yeah.
So Don Lemon does something similar, but he goes on Piers Morgan to talk about cancel culture. And it didn't go super great. But Piers Morgan kind of just yells at guests as well. So I think it went as Piers Morgan maybe had intended it to go. But I thought you'd be entertained by this.
When is a woman in her prime? It'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily.
40s. Oh, I got another.
I'm not saying
decade.
I agree with that.
If you had a do-over,
Piers Morgan played the clip of Don Lemon's. Yeah. When he put his foot in it on CNN.
He invited Don Lemon on the show to talk about censorship and the cancellation, in his words, Lemon's words, of Jimmy Kimmel, and kind of sandbagged him by throwing his own back in his face.
To be fair, Don Lemon brought up the censorship.
Right.
He talked about the cancel culture, and so he said, "Hey, you know about cancel culture because you were you were seemingly canceled." You say.
Would you say that again? I mean, What led you to say that?
Piers, let me just say this. I'm going to answer your question, but just so the audience knows, and I hope you don't cut this out, when I asked you what subjects you wanted to talk about, you know what you said to me? You said, I want to talk to you about freedom of speech in America and the response to Charlie Kirk's death.
Yeah.
Not once did you mention that we were going to talk about CNN or whatever. So, and had I...
What do you think they were going to talk about? Like, honestly.
Freedom of speech in the Charlie Kirk situation. That's what he asked him to come on and talk about.
If your job is to be a person on CNN, and then you get removed on CNN for saying something, and then you go on Piers Morgan to talk about somebody being removed from another network for saying something.
Come up.
And you don't think that's going to come up.
Yeah, your ad's a little hard to... Yeah.
I guess it makes sense why CNN didn't find this guy to be super valuable.
Yeah.
All right.
His detective and reporting skills make it a little thin.
A little off.
Yeah.
All right. We got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Here in the Pacific Northwest, windows can be one of the best investments you can make to add value to your home. At Dunn Lumber, we have designated Milgard window specialists who have been trained by Milgard to best serve your needs. If you need help finding the right windows for your home, come by one of our 4 Dunn Lumber window showrooms or reach out to me personally, Mike Dunn at DunnLumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, building success together.
If you're a veteran struggling with your monthly bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage has some good news for you.
Rates have dropped recently, and this could be a great time for our veterans to think about a cash-out refinance to get out of your high-interest rate debt. For example, one of our clients had a 2.25% VA loan, but he owed more than $155,000 on credit cards and a home equity loan. So we paid off all of that debt and replaced his mortgage with a VA cash-out refinance.
Yeah? Not so hot.
Water heater trouble?
It's not working.
We can fix that.
This week?
How about today?
Apollo Plumbing really is ready right now.
Especially when it comes to water heater replacement.
Think I need a new one?
Is it more than 10 years old?
It is.
Probably so.
Doesn't heat like it used to.
It runs out?
All the time.
That's a warning sign.
Uh-oh.
So are little leaks.
But Apollo can get me a new one?
Installed today by our clean screen trained and trusted plumbers. They're water heater experts.
But I probably got to pay a rush fee.
No extra charge.
You make this too easy.
We'll even haul off the old one.
A new water heater.
Same day. That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
This is going to get my budget in hot water.
Got you covered there too.
How?
Our available payment plans.
I don't have to wait?
Or take cold showers.
You are a lifesaver.
Call us this morning. You'll have hot water today.
That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Do you know someone whose everyday actions make Washington stronger? Someone whose care, service, and connection lift us all. They're Washington's community champions, and WSECU wants to celebrate them this fall. Steve Rabel here. WSECU has been serving Washington since 1957, and they're the only credit union named Forbes' Best Credit Union 5 years running. Now it's your turn to get in the game. Nominate your Washington community champion today at mynorthwest.com/champion.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools to help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Christopher Cruz in Washington. Vaccine advisors chosen by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. have just decided against recommending COVID-19 vaccines for all Americans. Until now, the vaccinations had been routinely provided to just about anyone who wanted one. In a split decision, however, the committee did vote against requiring a prescription for the COVID-19 shot. Authorities used chemical agents and more on dozens of protesters who blocked vehicles from entering or leaving an ICE facility in suburban Chicago this morning. CBS News Chicago reporter Darius Johnson was there.
The ICE agents were outnumbered at that point by the protesters on the ground. That's when ICE agents on the roof started to shoot off those pepper bullets, those rubber bullets, and those on the ground out here started to throw off that tear gas to try to disperse the crowd at that point.
Evanston Mayor Daniel Bliss was among those who were gassed.
Not only did they come with weapons and violent show of force and drive a van into us, but then they tear gassed us. And I have to tell you, it was terrifying. It was impossible to breathe and really, really scary.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents have arrested more than 400 people in the Chicago area since they began their immigration crackdown less than 2 weeks ago. Republican and Democratic stopgap funding bills failed in the Senate today after narrowly passing in the House earlier. Senate Majority Leader John Thune says Democrats are playing politics.
We think that's the right way to do this. There were 13 such opportunities the Democrats had when President Biden was in the White House, where we did short-term, clean, continuing resolutions.
The failure of the CRs in the Senate increases the chances of a partial government shutdown on October 1st. A little bit of rain produced a whole lot of mud in some communities in Southern California, says CBS News Los Angeles reporter Nicole Comstock.
People in a mountain community like this have been through mudslides before. They say this one still took them by surprise because of how powerful it was after only raining for just a little more than 10 minutes.
The mudslides damaged homes, buried roads, even trapped some drivers. Deal or no deal, President Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping spoke by phone this morning about trade and tariffs. On social media, Trump suggested they were close to an agreement on the sale of Tik Tok. CBS's Nancy Cordes reports from the White House.
It doesn't sound like the deal has actually been finalized yet. The president in that same Truth Social said that they had made progress in their discussions, and then the Chinese foreign minister separately didn't mention that a deal had been struck.
The three major indices all closed at record highs today. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The man accused of killing his 3 young daughters near Leavenworth may have been found. Details coming up, but first, KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
Thank you, Heather. It is busy out there. Let's start with this road work in Tacoma. 2 right lanes blocked westbound on the Narrows Bridge. The Jackson Avenue on-ramp is closed as well. You're in a bumper-to-bumper backup starting near Cheney Stadium out to Midspan. That's a 3+ mile backup, and this backup will only get worse from here as we head into the afternoon rush. This project is with us until 10 p.m. Saturday. Tacoma to Olympia up to an hour and 20 minutes, a 5 to 6 mile backup now through JBLM, starting near Gravely Lake Drive, and then we're crowded between Lacey and Olympia. In Fife, North 5, it's bumper to bumper through the Fife curve through up to the truck scales. Looks like just volume here. North 5 heading into Seattle, crowded from the Michigan curve in the downtown. South 5 already packed from North Gateway to I-90. Linwood to Seattle's taking 35 minutes. We've got scattered backups eastbound too between Monroe and Sultan, and eastbound 90 is packed east of Snoqualmie Summit into Easton. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
It was a huge relief.
A body found near Leavenworth is believed to be the man accused of killing his 3 young daughters in June. DNA testing is still pending, but Ryan Moody with the Chelan County Sheriff's Office says clothing and personal items found at the scene strongly suggest it is Decker.
We were always hopeful that we would find him, but after this long, you try not to get your hopes up.
King County prosecutors have charged 2 brothers, aged 17 and 15, with second-degree assault and a hate crime in the beating of a transgender woman in Renton Monday. They're set to enter pleas this afternoon. 2 more people have been arrested in the case. Seattle City Attorney Ann Davison is suing firearm maker Glock, claiming its guns can be too easily converted into illegal machine guns. More from KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson.
The suit cites this YouTube video showing how a semi-automatic Glock can be changed to fire like a fully automatic gun.
But that's not really fun, so let's go back to full auto.
That was 30 bullets fired on fully automatic. Davison says it's Glock's design that's the problem, saying in the suit, quote, Glock knows its pistols are being exploited in this way, and the company, quote, has made no meaningful effort to change its weapons.
No comment from Glock. The Army says 4 service members were on board a Black Hawk helicopter from JBLM that crashed Wednesday night in the heavily wooded hills above Summit Lake, about 20 miles west of Olympia. Neighbor Kevin Harris noticed evidence of a fire that might have been from the crash.
You can still see all of the smoke all over the whole lake.
The Army has not confirmed the fate of those service members nor why their chopper went down. The Seattle Storm season came to a heartbreaking end last night. The team lost by just 1 point in its WNBA playoff game against the Las Vegas Aces, 74-73. The Mariners start a 3-game series in Houston against the Astros tonight after a critical win against Kansas City yesterday.
Munoz strikes out the side. Mariners win it this afternoon 2-0, and they move into a first-place tie with the Houston Astros.
Yes, they are tied. The M's and Astros are tied for first in the AL West. The first pitch in the game tonight is 5:10. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine with highs in the mid-70s. It's 69 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO Newsradio.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. If you guys want to get in on this conversation, you can text us at 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO if you have an old-fashioned dial phone. Do they do that on modern phones? Like if I go onto my iPhone here?
Do you have a dial?
I pull up the the letters are still on the...
Oh, yeah, no, they still have the designated letters, yeah.
5476 is
I
KIRO.
thought you meant a rotary.
No, that's like a...
Oh, I had one.
Those were fun. I like those. I missed
it. Took forever.
It did take forever, but it was fun.
You know that's why 911 was initiated? Because it was 1-1s.
Oh, really?
One of the fastest way to get to it.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Here's another fun trick about phones. I don't know if people know this, but when you hang up the phone, like these are old-fashioned phones. This no longer applies because nobody has those. But when you hang up an old-fashioned phone, you know the two little buttons.
Yeah, the press down.
Press
with
down.
The weight of the headset.
With the weight of the headset. That cuts the line off.
Yeah.
And so it would be dead at that point. But when you lift that up, then when you get the ringtone, if you were to take those and you were to put in your number and count it out, that's the same as dialing.
Tap it in as the dialing, yeah.
You can tap it in. So like for 888, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I could do that all the way through the rest of the phone number, and it would get there.
Those little pulses and tones are what connected you to, yeah.
Now, that would take a long time, so
That's why I
would just recommend dialing as a normal thing.
I saw a comedy clip. It had a bunch of old Elizabethan Europeans, English.
Sure.
Everybody had they had these old the handset phones on the dining room table. Everybody put their phone away. They're going to kill conversation. They had to all take these big heavy phones and put them on the floor.
That's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
They didn't have phones back then,
right? It was like the invention of the telephone.
Oh, gotcha.
Old Grand Con with the beautifully ornate handles.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah,
they weigh 85 pounds.
Those are gorgeous.
Yeah.
All right. Here's what we want to start talking about. In Seattle, there's 2 people running for mayor.
Yeah.
2 candidates.
That's how we have our primary system originated.
For the
top
highest
2
office
vote getters. Yeah.
in the city.
Yeah.
You have on one hand mayoral candidate Katie Wilson, and you have Mayor Bruce Harrell.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are running for high office, traditionally you're currying favor with your constituents and people who can influence other people to vote for you.
Oh, like
right?
endorsements.
Endorsements.
Right.
Yeah.
The police department, the fire department.
Yeah, if you can get the police union to sign on, then people go, this person cares about safety. That's
right.
If you can get the teachers union to sign on, you go, this person loves education.
Right, parents with kids in schools.
Parents with kids in school, all that kind of stuff. That's a huge voting block.
Yeah.
And so there was a big labor union. You definitely want to get the labor unions on your side because you're a friend of the working man. So MLK Labor is a local labor union here, right? It's a labor organization. Yeah. And they had endorsed Mayor Bruce Harrell.
Back in May.
Right,
yeah.
They have now announced that they are also going to have a dual endorsement for Katie Wilson.
Oh.
So 2 endorsements.
They're not pulling their endorsement from Harrell to endorse Wilson.
No, they're not. They're basically saying we're endorsing both. They say a dual endorsement by MLK Labor shows both candidates have earned meaningful support from working people and that accurately reflects the views of union members across Seattle, said Katie Garrow, MLK Labor Executive Secretary Treasurer, in a statement.
Okay.
But my question to you is, if you're endorsing everybody, are you endorsing anybody? I have to say that the answer is no. Or are you casting a wide net?
Are you covering your base?
Are you covering your bases?
Yeah, I mean, I know oftentimes
betting on every horse.
Oftentimes political donors donate to both sides. So that when either side wins,
your rump, so
when either side wins, gave you money, give me something back for you want to get favor. I imagine if the MLK Labor didn't endorse either, that would be a bigger statement that neither of you meet the needs of labor, represent labor's interest in this town.
Sure.
And so I guess they're saying both of these guys are okay with us.
Yeah, but what does it mean?
It takes all the heft out of your.
You have to think that
it's a Diet Coke.
Harold's not happy
about it. It's a decaf coffee. It's nothing. It's a big glass of Why Bother non-alcoholic beer.
I mean, what is an endorsement? Isn't an endorsement traditionally because you go, hey, you know what? We just want you to know for our people, this is the person.
It's the guy.
This is the person. Yeah.
Hey, labor. Hey, working man. To
exactly.
Your point. Yeah,
now it's like, well, either one of these is fine. Either one of these is fine. Wow. I can't imagine that's good news for Harold.
No.
Because just like a week ago, wasn't it a week ago or 2 weeks ago, all that Shady Katie stuff was coming out about who she was getting endorsements from that maybe didn't actually endorse her.
Yes.
I wonder if this is kind of a response to that in some way. They said, hey, we want to help make up some of those endorsements that she was claiming that she didn't actually have.
It's definitely reputation management. Yeah.
It feels like something.
Yeah.
They are also
pretty meaningless to your point. Yeah.
I mean, if you're endorsing everybody, then
sure.
I don't see how that's
We're
valuable.
all for voting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay, vote.
Somebody will be mayor, and we are endorsing somebody to be mayor.
We want to be able to say we endorse them no matter who wins.
Yeah, they're also, let's see, the MLK Labor also endorsed, I always butcher this name, Gourmet Zahaleh.
Our man Gourmet.
Gourmet Zahaleh for King County Executive.
I'm going to go with that, yeah.
And they also support Pramila Jayapal. So it gives you some sense of where their political,
they're very progressive leaning in their endorsements. Yeah.
But it made me think when you're trying to get two people into, I mean, two people can't win, obviously, unless that would be a first. If they said, hey, you want to be dual co-mayors?
Ooh.
That's actually an interesting idea. Would they ever be co-mayors? Would somebody ever do that? Too many. That's a lot of cooks in the kitchen. And you're cooking two very different meals in that case.
Do you know that in the original election process in the United States, the runner-up became vice president?
I do know that.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Does that seem like a good idea now, though?
Well, what was smart about it is it forced you to work with people you didn't necessarily agree with.
Right, which I think is sorely lacking these days. Compromise and
team of rivals.
Yeah.
Team of rivals idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be interesting. We don't do that anymore.
No, I don't think we'd have co-mayors.
We don't work with people we don't agree with.
If MLK Labor had their way, we'd have co-mayors.
Co-mayors.
I'd love it.
That's an interesting idea. It reminded me of this, though. Did you ever see the movie Brewster's Millions?
Yeah, with Richard Pryor.
Yeah. And it made me wonder if maybe what they're actually, I don't know this, but maybe what MLK Labor is actually saying is a vote for both isn't really a vote for any of them, right?
Yeah.
And so maybe it's really a vote for none of the above.
Mr. Brewster, could you please give us your reasons for your sudden and unexpected candidacy?
I figure voting for Salvino or Heller is just as silly as them running for office, which is just as silly as me running for office. The only thing not silly is the power of the people's vote. And I think the people should use it to vote for none of the above.
None of the above. Of course, that's not going to happen as much as anybody might like to see that
No,
in
it
Seattle. But somebody's going to win, and if MLK Labor gets their way, then somebody will win. Good for them.
Boy, they've really got insight, don't they?
They really nailed it. They've figured out this thing because you also at the end of a campaign, you also want to be able to say, I bet on the right horse.
Sure did.
And they have now cracked the code, which is just to vote for everybody, and then you win. All right, let's also talk about this real fast. Mayor Bruce Harrell, I saw the story in Seattle Times. He wants to he's proposing a 0.1% sales tax increase to fund public safety in Seattle. And he could do this if the Seattle City Council approves this. They don't need a vote of the people, right? This is just something that they can institute. In our state, the state granted local cities the authority to do this. They can raise a sales tax by 0.1% at their discretion if they decide to, but it has to be spent on public safety priorities. So in this case, Harrell is saying that he wants to double. He wants to do. Let's see here. He wants to put in $2.1 million of the $40 million that would be raised for new fire recruits. He wants to add $7.4 million to treatment and post-overdose beds. He wants
treatment beds. Okay.
Put $5 million to law enforcement assisted diversion programs, and presumably the remainder of the money would go towards non-police responders. In this case, CARE.
The Care Bears, yeah.
The Care Bears.
Doubling their size, he's talking about, right?
Doubling their size. So they have 24 currently, but they would jump to 48. There are people who are worried that when 911 is called and somebody responds who doesn't have a gun and can't de-escalate the situation if it's an extreme one, is putting that person in danger. But according to the Seattle Times story, they say, hey, we've had thousands of responses to calls without incident, which is good.
That is good.
But they're also not responding on their own. They're responding with a police officer.
With officers, yeah.
Yeah, so they're not actually responding on their own. So police officers are making sure that the Care Bears don't have an incident.
Right, exactly. And this Care, I love Care Bears. The Care crew.
I like Care Bears. You came up with a good one.
No, I like it. But they have training that oftentimes LEOs don't have, law enforcement officers don't have. With psychological evaluations and immediacy of de-escalation techniques from a health and mental health perspective.
Yeah, they say they would respond to welfare checks or drug overdoses. Yeah. Right now, though, they're required to go with an armed officer.
Yeah, and I love that too. I think that's.
But they don't want that. But they don't want that.
They want to go out alone.
They want to go out alone.
Interesting.
In fact, according to the story, they have become. City Hall would like to see them. According to this, they would like to see them be able to respond to 911 calls without police, which is a problem for the Seattle Police Officers Guild, who is like, no, we respond to these things to make sure that people are safe, and CARE would like to respond to these without police officers. Do you think that's a good idea?
I would trust those folks trained in public safety, their judgment a little more. I would trust that the law officers have to go at least to take a Care Bear to an event. I'm a little leery.
Here's what Seattle Times says about it. Let's read directly from Seattle Times piece. Unlike other non-police responses in the city, CARE is intended to be a first responder. However, its ability to live up to that has been clipped by restrictions on who's allowed to be dispatched by 911. The city's in negotiations with the Seattle Police Officers Guild to free CARE responders, Care Bears, as Spike mentioned, to answer calls on their own. But for now, they must do so alongside sworn police.
So I guess when you call 911, you got to give a description of the situation, and is that the 911 operator then who's going to make the decision whether a Care Bear
The
can go?
911 would say, okay, do you need a Care Bear or a cop? Question for you. If you call 911, are you going to be then asked, like, hey, do you need a Care Bear or a cop? I would probably always say cop. I mean, that's just me.
Yeah, I think that'd be my first inclination. You've called 911. You've called in an emergency. It's not. But sometimes you call 911, you're calling in a medical emergency.
Sometimes you need an ambulance. And if an ambulance needs to show up, I don't want a Care Bear to show up. Right, so that I guess it wouldn't fall under that umbrella.
So that puts a lot of power into the hands of the 911 and responsibility in the hands of 911 operators, right?
It would seem to me to be kind of a liability, actually, which is why I wonder if...
I'm with you. I see that, too.
if they're walking down a flawed path.
Okay, you say it's fine. Let's just send some Care Bears, and all of a sudden something horrific happens, and
Yeah.
There weren't, armed, trained law enforcement officers on site like this is the case now.
Like, here's a question I would have. What if somebody who calls 911 with good intentions and says, hey, you know what, I can see somebody having some sort of a mental health episode. And they're strung out on drugs, possibly, or we don't know what it is, but they need help.
Yeah,
so
they're
911
shouting,
says...
they're yelling, they're unresponsive,
Yeah, so if the city gets their wish, the city would go, oh, okay, well, mental health, that falls into Care Bear category. So we're going to send the Care Bears, and they're going to go out there, and they're going to try to deal with the situation. While they're out there, how many stories have we covered in the last 3 weeks of people with mental health episodes killing people?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Stabbings, murderings, chasing downs, beat-ups, all these horrible things.
And oftentimes it's drug-related.
Oftentimes,
yeah,
absolutely. So if a Care Bear shows up and they then are put in harm's way because they're not equipped, like maybe mentally healthy, like health-wise, they're equipped to deal with somebody who's not trying to escalate a situation. But you don't know that when you're responding to a 911 call.
And if you get there and find that's the case, now you got to make another call. You got to bring police in.
And now you've wasted valuable time.
Yeah.
And so I think this is a very flawed idea. So the idea that Mayor Harrow wants to take more of your money, $40 million.
I was hoping you'd run right past that part of the story.
No, it's important.
I love that you focus on the public safety aspect of the story.
I focus on the public safety first.
Sense. Yeah.
And point two is the very first opportunity that he has to spend more of your money. He takes it. And I do think that's worth noting because I think this is a very flawed way to spend $40 million. If you're just going to send Care Bears out, if the goal is to double the Care Bears and to send them out and not with police officers, which the Seattle Police Officers Guild says is a bad idea, then I don't think that puts anybody in a safer situation because you don't know what situation you're getting into, which is why you send somebody who's wearing bulletproof vest.
Kevlar, who has got a stun gun and mace and all the things you need to immobilize somebody.
100%.
Let alone deadly force if it's necessary.
100%. And it feels to me like the politics of what Seattle is playing into this, and they're saying, police, we want to de-escalate situations, and police only escalate situations, which I don't buy into. I don't believe that. But they're saying if we send these care folks out, that's the better thing to do. And I get why they want to do it. It sounds really nice. It sounds great to send somebody out there to give a hug or whatever they think these people are going to need. But sometimes you do need somebody with a gun. You need somebody to protect people.
Yeah.
Or somebody with cuffs. Can these care people restrain somebody who's having a manic episode?
I wouldn't trust that they've been trained to do so. No, I wouldn't think so.
I also, if I was on the care team, I wouldn't want to be in that position.
No, I don't think so. Would either. I know I wouldn't either if I was in that position. Because imagine you're calling because someone is on your front porch banging on your door and they're having an episode.
100%.
Whether it's mental health or it's drug induced. And okay, this is a health and a de-escalation situation, but this guy's still trying to bang my door down.
Sometimes.
I don't want a counselor to show up.
No, not at all. They're just going to shoot happiness out of their belly. What you want is somebody who can put hands on and take this person down.
Yeah.
Not kill them.
No.
But somebody who can take them down, put some cuffs on them, or put them in restraints and de-escalate the situation.
Working in tandem with a care provider. Yeah.
Which is what they do now. So the idea that they're trying to push this out is just care teams on their own.
No.
It seems very misguided.
I love the more firefighters. I love the more treatment beds. I love the more Care Bears.
Great.
I love them all. But let's not get rid of common sense in how we send people out.
Don't get rid of common sense, folks. Don't put people in harm's way. I honestly believe this would put people in harm's way, and it opens the city up to a huge liability.
I would agree with that too.
And it's going to end up costing them more. If the point is
how much sales tax increase are going to have to cover all the lawsuits we're going to bring on?
Good golly, we could do a whole giant segment on how many lawsuits the city pays out every year. All right, we have a lot more coming up, believe it or not, and I hope you do. So stick around.
Can we talk about the playoff baseball tonight? It's playoff baseball tonight.
Heck yeah.
Mariners?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to. So the Mariners are in a very interesting situation.
Yeah.
When they haven't been in for almost 25 years.
Yeah. It's quarter century since we've been here. Yeah.
Laura, is Aaron coming in next? Our resident expert
yeah, he is.
on all things Mariners. Okay.
And he's dressed for the occasion.
Aaron Granillo, he wore his Little League outfit. He's going to be in here next. And
it still fits. That's what I love.
Still fits. He looks great. The pants are a little tight, but
sure.
Some of the ladies on YouTube seem to like it. All right, stick around. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks!
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 17, Dave Craig, quarterback. All he did was figure out how to complete passes and how to win football games, and in the process, he won the hearts of not only the fans, but his own teammates. They loved the guy we used to call Mudbone.
The Seahawks go for 2 straight wins. Seahawks Saints kickoff Sunday at 1:05.
The 12s hear the Hawks right here on KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM.
Many retirees are enjoying the retirement lifestyle, but not the high cost of living. We're here with our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage, who says a reverse mortgage may provide some stress relief.
If you're struggling with your mortgage payments or other bills, or maybe you just like some extra money, a reverse mortgage allows you to tap your home equity for tax-free cash. You've worked hard to build up that equity in your home. Now let it work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
But as you always say, a reverse mortgage is not for everyone.
That's right. Avoid the high-pressure sales pitch from those out-of-state call centers. I give you a consultation, not a sales pitch. I'll tell you if a reverse mortgage is right for you, and I always tell you if it's not.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts. Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts and debt consolidation specialists too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Goodbye baseball. Home runs in 3 consecutive games. Cal Raleigh, the big dumper.
The Mariners' postseason push is on, and there's a whole new way to be part of the action. Introducing the Homestretch Flex Plan, a $500 membership that gives you the freedom to choose your games and seats for the rest of the season, all while saving 5% on tickets and no fees.
Strike 3 call. Triple digits to end it and complete the sweep.
You can use your credit however you want. Go big with club seats for a couple high-stakes showdowns, or stretch it out until the final series against the Dodgers. And the best part, Homestretch Flex members get priority access to our postseason pre-sale. That means you're first in line when October comes calling. The team is locked in.
J.P. Crawford! Game winner, walk-off fashion in the ninth inning.
And now it's time to bring the energy down the stretch. Come on board today at mariners.com/homestretch. Mariners baseball. Try dance up.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct Access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early, we're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement, starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today. irgpt.com.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings, departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
KIRO News Radio. Breaking news.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. This just in from the U.S. Army. It now says it believes those 4 soldiers based out of JBLM died in a helicopter crash on Wednesday night. The very latest from KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay.
Their Black Hawk helicopter went down in the woods near Summit Lake in Thurston County. Recovery efforts are still underway. The Army says the soldiers were part of an elite special operations aviation unit known as the Night Stalkers. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. The names of the soldiers have not been released. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Law enforcement teams are back in the mountains near Leavenworth today. This is where authorities believe they found the remains of Travis Decker, the man accused of murdering his 3 daughters nearly 4 months ago. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reports from the Incident Command Post.
I've been speaking with Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison. He tells me WSP has the remains for DNA processing, but they're still collecting other evidence off the mountain today.
Those remains were found earlier this week on Grindstone Mountain. That's just a few miles from where the girls' bodies were found. Now to the closing bell report. Construction jobs in our states are losing ground. New federal data shows Washington shed more than 11,000 construction jobs over the past year. That's a nearly 5% drop. Only California and New York had more losses. Industry leaders say 92% of firms are struggling to hire. Nearly half have delayed projects due to labor shortages. An encouraging sign for Apple as its new iPhone lineup hits stores. CBS's Jason Brooks has more.
The iPhone 17 is seeing stronger than expected demand, according to J.P. Morgan, prompting the bank to raise its forecast for iPhone sales to around 236 million in Apple's upcoming fiscal year, a 2% gain from the previous year. J.P. Morgan analysts say consumer and investor excitement will likely shift next year to a foldable iPhone, which Apple is reportedly developing in Taiwan, with plans for mass production in India in 2026.
Shares of Apple jumped more than 3% today, while the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P all closed out at fresh record highs. The Dow up more than 172 points today. NASDAQ gained 160, S&P up 32 points. Turning now to the real-time traffic desk, here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. It is busy out there. Tacoma to Olympia already an hour and 10 minutes. You got a big backup through JBLM already, and then more crowding between Lacey and Olympia. We have road work blocking 2 right lanes westbound on the Narrows Bridge. The Jackson Avenue on-ramp is closed as well. So right now, you're in a bumper-to-bumper backup starting at Union, almost back to I-5. Plan on a half hour to clear this 4-mile backup. Add to this, we have a brand new collision at South 19th in the right lane. Here in Seattle, North 5 heavy from the Michigan Curve in the downtown. We have a new collision just before James Street in the HOV lane. South 5 already packed from North Gateway to I-90. Linwood to Seattle is going to take you 35 minutes. We're looking at scattered backups eastbound 2 between Monroe and Sultan, and eastbound 90 is packed east of Snoqualmie Pass between Lake Ketchlis and Easton, as this backup is actually starting to thin out from our earlier full closure. North Bend to Ellensburg is down to an hour and a half commute. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. A nice afternoon today, mostly sunny with highs in the low 70s. A pretty nice weekend with some showers on Saturday nights into Sunday. Right now, low 70s across the map. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. All right, we're going to talk a little baseball here for a second because the Mariners find themselves in a very interesting spot. Here we go. Everybody's favorite Mariners talker is here with us right now.
Let's
Aaron
go.
Granillo. Very excited.
Let's go.
You even wear a uniform today.
I did. Yeah, under the shirt also.
So
I'm going to strip on the camera here.
Ooh, show the audience. I like it. There we go. Oh, he's taking it off, folks.
Ready for this?
Leave the pants on, though.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Good vibes only.
There we go.
Tino Suarez.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
The Mariners are tied for first place.
Yeah.
With the Astros.
Yeah.
Those Astros.
You guys, I woke up giddy this morning.
I can tell.
Did you now?
I did. You can ask my wife. I was actually screaming as I was getting dressed.
Really?
I was hyping myself up.
Shouts of excitement?
Shouts of excitement saying, this is our time. This is it. This is the moment where the Mariners show the Astros the door.
Yeah.
And we take charge of the AL West. Let's not kid ourselves. The Astros have dominated this division for like the past decade.
Mm-hmm.
It is a changing of the guard. The team, the Mariners, are better on paper than the Houston Astros. They are younger. They have the potential AL MVP. They have a hot Julio Rodriguez. Their pitching is playing its best that it's done all season. It is our time. Let's take it.
Is this going to be like the most consequential weekend in Mariners sports in how many years?
Ooh, man. I mean, their playoff run a couple years ago was probably more consequential, but regular season-wise, yeah. I mean, there's all that is at stake right now because you are tied with the big bad wolf, right? I mean, you are tied with your arch nemesis.
Why is it always the Astros? Why is it always the Astros?
They've been good. Like, they've been good for a long time. Their time is passing.
You really think so?
It's up to us.
I mean,
it's up to us. We have a chance to close the door. Yeah.
I'm watching this documentary right now.
Opportunity knocks.
Have you guys seen on Netflix? There's a thing called America's Team, The Gambler and His Cowboys.
Oh, the Jerry Jones thing?
The Jerry Jones thing.
I haven't seen it.
It's so good. It's fantastic. 8 episodes. I highly recommend. I was telling you about it.
Yeah,
Spike.
you were.
It's great.
Yeah.
But it's all about the like 80s and 90s Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about how their arch rivals were the 49ers, who they just kept running up against, and the 49ers were like the team of the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Montana and then
Steve Young.
Steve Young.
Yeah, Bill Walsh.
They were just the guys who kept being the guys, and then finally the Cowboys started to realize this special talent that they had, and eventually became the team of the 90s. And then you're saying that could be the Mariners right now.
I think
push the Astros aside.
They're older, right? I mean, their best players are guys like Altuve and Correa. They're past their prime. Our elite players right now are in the prime. Not even Julio. He's not even in his prime yet.
How old is Julio? He's like
24.
Yeah.
And he's quietly been one of the best top 3 players in baseball the second half of the year.
Talk a little bit about Julio for a second, because I always see these stats. They'll line him up against look at how amazing Julio is, and nobody seems to be giving him credit.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about why he's so special at 24.
So I think it's the whole package, right? I mean, beyond just what he does at the plate, it's his defense, which is elite.
No fly zone.
In center field.
Yes, it
I mean,
is.
he tracks down balls that other guys just can't. It's a fact. Yep. He robs home runs. He dives, and he does it with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
And the charisma and the emerald green eyes and all of it.
Yeah, he's
Purple
dreamy.
shoes.
Yeah, he's a handsome fella. Let's not
Good
kid ourselves,
Lord, all right.
I mean,
This took a funny turn.
he was the face of the organization to play upon that, and that was weighing on him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has benefited so much from Cal Raleigh's season.
Yeah,
no doubt.
I mean, they've taken
he's hiding in the shadow of that
taken
big
the
dumper.
spotlight and the weight and the pressure of leading and carrying this team. The additions that the Mariners made at the trade deadline, I should say, have been impactful. Every day it's a different person stepping up to deliver for this team down this stretch run. They were like 23-6, I think.
Yeah,
at home. These guys are playing, and they've won 7 straight home series.
Yeah.
They're doing what matters. But to your point, this is playoff baseball. Whoever wins this series has the tie-breaking seasonal lead from head-to-head competition if they should finish in a dead heat at the end of the season.
That's right.
So as you said last week, Aaron, this is playoff baseball this week. Let's say we win 1 and we exit this series a game back. We've still got 6 and they've got 6.
Right. Let's not have the shirt.
No,
read the shirt.
Good vibes is
good vibes only.
No matter what happens this season,
vibes only.
the M's have it in their hands. They play the last 6 at home. Right, 3 against the Rockies, which is basically
the worst team in baseball.
Minor league baseball pitching staff coming in.
Yeah.
And then
the
Dodgers.
Now. I'm nervous that you're saying that.
You're a Mariner fan. I'm a Mariner fan. We're always nervous. It's September. We're supposed to be nervous.
I'm excited that the Mariners are now competitive and good. I was not a Mariners fan for many years when they were just nothing. When
that makes sense.
Well, it was nothing. I was hugely when I was a kid in the mid-'90s and all of that.
Sure, well, they gave you something to be proud and enjoy.
In 2001, and then after that, I'd say after 2004, I kind of started tapering off a little bit.
This is why you follow a team, though, through...
Because you've never left them.
Yeah. I mean, even in the down years, you still have reasons to root for, like, Felix, right, and Cano and Nelson Cruz. And they had their moments, and Ichiro, of course. But, I mean, this is why you follow a team for the last 9 games of the season, and they're in it. I mean, this is why in spring training, hope springs eternal, and you're like, this could be the year, every year.
Yeah.
This is why you follow the roller coaster season that it has been, the ups and the downs, and 9 games left, and it's all in front of you, and it's all at your doorstep right now for the taking, and now is the time that you have to take it.
Do you want to make a prediction about what's going to happen, how they're going to end the season?
I think they win the division.
Yeah.
I think they win the division, and I also think the way that the Detroit Tigers are playing, you are 1 game behind the Tigers for the 2nd overall seed in the playoffs. If you get that 2nd seed, you get a first-round bye. So you pass the divisional round or the wild card round, and you go straight to the next round.
That'd be huge.
I think we take 2 out of 3 in Houston.
There you go. I like it.
I mean, a sweep against the Rockies, why not? So I'm just doing the math in my head. So in that case, you go 5-1 there, and then you have 4-1 there, and then you have 3 games left against the Dodgers at home.
Dodgers doing good though.
They're a very good team, and they have something to fight for too, because they're in a tight race with the Padres. Let's just say you take 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers, right? Then you're 5-6-1 down the stretch. That's a lot to ask. So realistically, 5-2. Realistically, 5-2. So you have 90 wins at that point. I think they could. You know what? I'm just going to call it now. Yes, they win the West.
Yes.
And they have the number 2 seed in the playoffs.
All right. There you go. You heard it from Aaron.
Astros finished against the A's and Angels, right?
Yes.
Their last 6 are all against the AL West.
Yeah, I feel like
both those teams have losing records.
I'm bad at math.
Your math was off by 2 games, so I'm going to give you one last chance so we can mark this down.
7-2.
So here's what.
7-2.
So how many games?
Yeah.
Because this will be something we can come back to and play
we have
when you
9
get it all
games
right.
left.
So how many games are they going to be win against the Astros?
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3. Okay, against the Rockies, all 3.
3.
Yeah.
Against the Dodgers,
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3. Okay.
That's 7 wins. It gives you 91 on the season.
Laura, make sure to save this audio, and at the end of the season, we'll give Aaron credit where credit's due.
What time's first pitch?
This is why you don't do math on the radio, especially as a broadcast journalist. It's tough.
They don't pay us for math.
I don't do numbers.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
I don't do numbers.
They pay us for good vibes.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, and good vibes only, according to Aaron Shirt. Thank you so much for coming in, man. We appreciate it.
You got it.
Go Mariners. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. Oh, you might be surprised about this, Spike. I don't know if you saw this. SeaTac. They rate airports nationally.
Okay.
When's the last time you flew through SeaTac? A couple months ago?
A couple weeks ago.
A couple weeks. That's right.
Just
You're
got
out of
back
town.
from the East Coast. Yeah.
Okay. We'll ask you about your experience, and then you can base it on this national rating.
Oh, okay. If it's anything like my experience, I bet we didn't do well. How about that?
Well, I'm thinking you might be right.
Okay. All right.
We'll talk about it
Glad
next.
to hear it.
Stick around.
The closing bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO Newsradio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Folks, we all are enjoying this last splash of summer in Seattle, but you know the rain is on its way back. And now is the time to protect your home with the help of the pros at Integrity Roofing and Construction. Years of experience in roofing and restoration. They've got skilled teams that deliver exceptional craftsmanship. Whether it's a simple roof repair or a full renovation, Integrity offers free estimates, and their customer satisfaction just speaks for itself. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Schedule your free estimate today. Call 206-202-ROOF. That's 206-202-ROOF, or visit integrityrc.com.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Hey, football fans, Steve Rabel here. You know what makes Washington State truly special? It's the people, the everyday champions who serve, care, and connect. This fall, your local credit union, WSECU, is proud to celebrate 4 of these inspiring individuals as part of Washington's Community Champions. Serving Washington since 1957, WSECU is the only credit union named a Forbes Best Credit Union 5 years in a row. Now it's your turn to get in the game. Nominate your hero today at mynorthwest.com/champion.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. I'm so excited to have my cousin Amelia with me today. So, how many chickens do you think there are on the farm?
3,000?
What do you think chickens eat?
Grass.
What else?
Seed.
So, do you know what organic eggs are?
The ones that you put in brownies?
Yes, the ones you put in brownies.
We hope you choose fresh eggs from our family farm.
Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh
since 1909.
Homes are sitting, but the bottleneck is about to break. Set yourself up for success by working with a team that doesn't just set up your listings and let it sit. The Novak team creates a marketing strategy that's hands down proven successful. Mike sold over 1,500 homes and guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If Mike doesn't get your home under contract within 21 days, he sells it for free. That is no commission for Mike. Go to meetthenovaks.com. That's meetthenovaks, NOVAKS.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
It's G. Scott. School's back and it's rally time. Time to rally around the campaign to keep kids healthy. Kids need fruits and veggies to grow strong and stay focused, but for families on tight budgets, that's not easy. Safeway and the Washington State Department of Health have teamed up and need your help. Every dollar you donate at Safeway checkout helps families in need. And with SNAP Produce Match, they get twice as much for the dollar. Next time you're at Safeway, please donate to keep kids healthy.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
This week at Jazz Alley, experience Grammy-winning New Orleans funk master John Cleary and the Absolute Monster Gentlemen. Shows run Thursday through Sunday. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, Dominique Fils-Aimé.
Here
Here's a question. Why are more and more discerning Seattleites choosing Horizon House's new West Tower? They're getting the best views, floor plans, and pre-construction pricing. They're doing it now, and here's why. Because half the residences are already reserved, and they know these advantages won't last. Learn more now at westtowerinfo.org. That's westtowerinfo.org. westtowerinfo.org.
Welcome back to the show. Spike, you were recently flying through Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. Isn't that right?
I did.
On your way back from your
Maryland,
lovely East Coast
from
visit.
Baltimore, Washington International, or Thurgood Marshall International Airport, it's now known.
There you go. There's apparently a ranking. I'm interested if you have the same thoughts on SeaTac that the rest of the country seems to. But there has been a ranking of the 20 mega airports in the United States. Seattle is one of those 20 mega airports. And did you see where we fell on that list?
Not until you shot me this just now. I can't believe. Well, no, I can believe. I can believe.
You can believe this.
That we're, may I? 17.
Please.
Out of the top 20, we're 17.
That is not a good showing. 17 out of 20 is not good. Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport ranked the highest in passenger satisfaction. Detroit Metropolitan Wayne County Airport ranked second. And then the third is Phoenix Harbor International Airport.
Sky Harbor. Yeah, you bet.
Sky Harbor.
Yeah.
So we're right down there near the bottom.
Swills with Toronto.
Yep.
And Charlotte.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not good. And then to round it out,
what do they base the rankings on?
These are satisfaction of people flying through. So like the ease of navigating through the airport.
Okay. Well, we've been under construction for so long. I think there's more plywood than airplanes at SeaTac these days. Or SEA, I guess.
When is that going to stop? I feel like since I've been flying through SeaTac, it's always under construction.
Yeah.
Have you ever flown through there once in the last 30 years that it's not been like, oh, watch out for this walkway?
No,
I
think you're right. There's always been a reroute and a detour and under construction.
It's like near the Tacoma
here.
Dome. It's like, when are they going to finish that thing?
Right.
So it's just constantly being, worked on. Laura, yes.
I will say I was at the number one airport, Minneapolis-St. Paul.
How was it? Oh, yeah, you just went to a wedding.
Yeah, weeks ago. Fantastic.
What made it so fantastic and what makes SeaTac so frustrating?
TSA PreCheck was not on my phone, so I had to do regular people security.
Mm-hmm.
I got through in 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Would you go at 3 a.m. or something like that? Don't barely.
No, 6 in the afternoon.
Oh, wow.
We walked through, and when you walk in, you can't even see the gates. It just looks like you're in a mall, like a really nice mall, like an LA mall. Sat down at a Chipotle that looked like a normal Chipotle because we don't have that except for in Spokane here. Tried the Southwest egg rolls for the first time in my life.
Sweet.
Fantastic.
Sweet.
Ordered extra of that avocado ranch stuff they give you. It was an amazing experience. It
So
didn't
bought your love
feel
with
like an
avocado
airport.
ranch.
I'll
Did
say
it
that.
the thing about
They had fake store facades. It literally had huge skylights. It felt like you were in a mall.
you were in like Main Street, USA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disneyland, basically.
I do wish that they would up the what's the word I'm looking for here? The
aesthetics.
The entertainment value that you can get out of an airport. You're usually stuck in an airport. They tell you to get there hours ahead of time, which I don't know why that's still a thing. That eats such a giant chunk of your day. If you're flying international, you're flying anywhere, get there 2 hours ahead of time.
Oh, yeah.
My flight's not usually 2 hours wherever I'm going. I'm going to sit in the airport twice, like longer than my flight's going to be.
Yeah.
They got to get a hold of that. I don't mind the check-in process as much because I've never known it to be a wonderful one, so I don't even know what I'm missing.
Yeah.
I just assume it's going to be bad.
Everything's a kiosk nowadays. I haven't talked to a human getting on an airplane in so long.
Yeah.
It's all, check in with your kiosk, enter your code, get your thing, take it over here, drop your bag. Nobody's standing there either.
I'm surprised.
At security, where they side-eye me at security. It's one time I see a human.
Seattle just don't have the amenities that these other places have. Like Laura, you were talking about in Minneapolis. They don't seem to be interested. Maybe slightly in the international terminal.
Well, no, I went through, I was on D this time, and I could buy a vinyl at Sub Pop. That was kind of neat. That was unique to Seattle.
Okay.
But the food choices were me.
But how often you go through, you're like, I got to get another record.
Got to get a vinyl. Yeah.
Where am I going to get my record?
Carry that around, on the way through the airport.
It's like the biggest thing I've seen at SeaTac in the recent years that stood out was, I remember for a long time they had that. Remember that drinking fountain that sounded like running water?
Yeah, the bubbling thing.
And
I saw that. That's still there.
That was a big thing.
Yeah, that's groundbreaking.
That's groundbreaking.
Yeah.
The new Alaska terminal is kind of amazing. I will say that. I'm always excited to fly out of that one.
I haven't been in a new Alaska terminal.
They've got a Beachers in there.
Okay.
Lots of like cute little local stores. You can
Actually,
pick
no,
up
I have
souvenirs.
been. Yeah, they have a little Beachers restaurant.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that one with the very long moving sidewalk that runs along
No, it's the one you have to shuttle to.
That's the south terminal I'm thinking of,
And
because there's a north and the south gates.
Yeah.
I do appreciate, at my advanced age, a nice moving sidewalk.
Yeah, those are nice.
I really do.
Those are nice.
I love those.
Which they do have.
Yeah, I wish they would put one to the light rail. You really have to leave the area code to go from your baggage check.
Well, as you remember,
to get
Laura
on light rail.
rode, or she almost got run over. She didn't ride.
One of
It
those
almost
carts?
rode over her.
A little light rail shuttle.
The light rail,
You had to jump out of the way.
Was it automated?
The autonomous light rail shuttle.
Well, the woman behind the steering wheel gave me this panicked look as if she wasn't at fault, and I thought, "What the heck?"
Well, because she wasn't driving, right?
I had no idea at the time that it was autonomous. I just assumed she was driving.
Yeah. Isn't that why she's there, to stop it from running over girls? Or is she just like, well,
it's not a
I
real
gotta
brake
let it run
pedal.
over.
Not a real brake
because-
pedal. It's one of those fake brake pedals. Make
That
you feel
thing almost
better.
caught air going around the elevator bank.
Wow.
Like I had to jump.
So they got a little work to do. So
Yeah,
17.
come on, SeaTac.
Yeah, you can
But
do better at 17.
good
At least
news
top
is-
10. You got to shoot for top 10.
It's under construction. At least someday we'll get at it. If nothing was being changed and we were number
Sure.
17, I'd feel worse.
That's generous. That's generous.
You know me. I like to
You're a
look
nice
on the
guy.
bright
But
side.
you're a nice guy. That's why. All right. We have a lot more coming up. We got our Friday favorites, which we'll get into in just a few minutes. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 17, Dave Craig, quarterback. All he did was figure out how to complete passes and how to win football games, and in the process, he won the hearts of not only the fans, but his own teammates. They loved the guy we used to call Mudbone.
The Seahawks go for 2 straight wins. Seahawks Saints kickoff Sunday at 1:05.
The 12s hear the Hawks right here on KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If you're a veteran struggling with your monthly bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage has some good news for you.
Rates have dropped recently, and this could be a great time for our veterans to think about a cash-out refinance to get out of your high-interest rate debt. For example, one of our clients had a 2.25% VA loan, but he owed more than $155,000 on credit cards and a home equity loan. So we paid off all of that debt and replaced his mortgage with a VA cash-out refinance. And the new VA loan saved him $1,268 per month. So give us a call and see if a VA cash-out refi can help save you money. And remember, with a VA loan, you can buy a home with no money down.
And you can help non-veterans as well.
That's right. If you have a conventional loan, we'll run the numbers and see if we can help save you money, too.
Honest advice you can trust from the VA loan experts, Best Mortgage. Call now, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you. Because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with some great news. I'm with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and owner of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, you guys just increased your community coverage.
That's right, Brock. We like to say we're in your neighborhood. We have you covered here at IRG. We just added 2 fantastic locations. One is in Harbor Square in the Edmonds Bowl, and the other one is in the Mill Creek Town Center, right to the entrance to Mill Creek Town Center. So we'll be able to provide fantastic care to all of us and everybody's neighborhood.
You know I love it. Expert physical and hand therapy right in your neighborhood.
That's right. We're in your neighborhood. We want to be your neighborhood family physical therapist. We'll take care of you, your family, and your neighbor.
And remember, no referral needed. Just personalized care when and where you need it. Visit irgpt.com and schedule your appointment today. With over 40 convenient locations, IRG is right in your neighborhood, and now 2 new spots as well. That's irgpt.com, irgpt.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Christopher Cruz. The CDC's Vaccine Advisory Committee has ended its 2-day meeting with another change to vaccine recommendations. CBS's Mark Strassman in Atlanta reports the committee declined to recommend that all Americans get the COVID-19 shot.
The 12-member panel was handpicked by HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a longtime vaccine skeptic. Some outside medical liaisons working with the panel say the guidance should be more forceful.
Simple, stable recommendations can increase vaccine coverage. COVID-19 vaccines are highly safe and effective.
A recent CBS News poll found 77% of Americans say the COVID shots should be available to people who want them, whether or not they would get one themselves.
There was a sometimes violent confrontation between ICE agents and protesters near Chicago this morning.
It was the 4th demonstration in as many weeks outside the Broadview ICE facility to protest President Trump's immigration crackdown. Evanston Mayor Daniel Biss, who's running for Congress, was part of the protest.
Not only did they come with weapons and violent show of force and drive a van into us, but then they tear gassed us. And I have to tell you, it was terrifying. It was impossible to breathe.
Another Illinois congressional candidate, Kat Abou-Ghazaleh, was thrown to the ground by an ICE agent. ICE says it has rounded up 400 people since Operation Midway Blitz began 2 weeks ago. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
President Trump says his phone call this morning with Chinese President Xi Jinping to discuss the future of TikTok was productive. He said they made progress on the, quote, approval of the TikTok deal. But CBS's Nancy Cordes at the White House says it's not at all clear just what that means.
It sounds like there is still some fine print to be worked out, possibly more than fine print. We simply don't know. And the president still hasn't revealed any details about who exactly would be buying TikTok.
Conservative Texas Republican Senator Ted Cruz says if the Trump administration goes after the media, as the president has threatened to do, it will hurt conservatives in the long run.
If the government gets in the business of saying,
what
we
you
don't
can't
like
say
what you, the media, have said, we're going to ban you from the airwaves if you don't say what we like, that will end up bad for conservatives.
Cruz was talking about the suspension of late-night television host Jimmy Kimmel. He was speaking on his Verdict with Ted Cruz podcast. On Wall Street, the 3 major indices, the Dow, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ, all closed at record highs for the 2nd straight day. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
What the Army is now saying about that helicopter crash in Thurston County. That's after we go to Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Aaron, we've got a busy Friday commute already. Here in Seattle, North 5, we just cleared a crash at Yesler Way, but it left us with a bumper-to-bumper backup starting at the north end of Boeing Field. South 5 already packed from Northgate to I-90. Just volume here. Linwood to Seattle's at 45 minutes. Everett to Marysville is 15 minutes, but you're crowded from the Boeing Freeway all the way into Marysville. Eastbound 2, heavy between Monroe and Sultan. that's a 7-mile bumper-to-bumper backup there. Bellevue to Renton, you're pushing a half hour. Tacoma to Olympia, an hour 15. You've got a 4-mile thick backup through JBLM that starts near Gravely Lake Drive. And roadwork has 2 right lanes blocked westbound 16 on the Narrows Bridge. This lasts through 10 p.m. Saturday night. The Jackson Avenue on-ramp is closed as well, and you're backed up all the way to Union. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. The Army now confirms 4 soldiers based at Joint Base Lewis McChord likely died when their Black Hawk helicopter crashed Wednesday night. It went down in the woods above Summit Lake, about 20 miles west of Olympia. Jacqueline Hill is with Army Public Affairs.
On-site law enforcement, firefighters, and specialty personnel from Joint Base Lewis McChord, Washington, are conducting recovery efforts, and they are working to bring our soldiers home.
The military is also working to determine what caused that crash. The search for Travis Decker may be over. Authorities say human remains were found in the mountains not far from where Decker is accused of killing his 3 daughters. Former FBI Special Agent Jennifer Coffindaffer tells Seattle's Morning News what is next for law enforcement.
Essentially, there's no case to be proven in court because there's no suspect. But it's always important to prove up the case, which I believe has been done, and that's on the books just to rule out that anyone else could have done this crime.
DNA testing is underway to confirm the identity of those remains. Former Supersonic Sean Kemp got his jail sentence revised slightly after he pleaded guilty for firing a gun at a car outside the Tacoma Mall back in 2023.
Kemp spoke before a judge handed down his sentence last month.
I accept the responsibility for what I did. I should have used a better discretion.
Well, prosecutors questioned whether it was legal for Kemp not to have to serve any time behind bars. So now the court has revised the sentence to include 1 day of confinement with credit for time served. And like with his original sentence, Kemp will be under 30 days of home monitoring, and he'll be required to perform 240 hours of community service. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle Mariners have a chance to take control of the American League West this weekend. They begin a 3-game series tonight, tied with the Astros for first place in the division. First pitch is at 5:10. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Clear skies tonight. We are staying mostly sunny this weekend. Just a few showers to get through on Saturday nights into Sunday. Right now, 71 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour left to go. It's going to be a ton of fun. Thank you for joining us. You can text us, 888-973-5476. You can also hang out with us on YouTube. Go over to YouTube in the search bar, type KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, and the Jake and Spike live show will pop up. You can see our friendly, smiling faces. Sometimes we're scowling, like right now, scowling at the camera. But it's also a lot of fun. Just a lot of love in this room. A lot of love. We're going to talk about Friday favorites right now, which is a lot of fun. We look back on some of our favorite stories throughout the week. It's one of my favorite times of the week. So, Laura, why don't you start us off here? What was your favorite story?
My favorite story this week was the One Lunch School protests. Here's a little bit of what that sounded like.
What do we want? One lunch! What do we want? One lunch!
Lunchtime.
When do we want it?
At lunch.
I'm hungry.
11:30 to noon.
Yeah. When we want something done.
So this is Seattle Public Schools high schoolers who marched to the administrative building, made signs. They're trying to switch them to multiple lunch periods with smaller divided groups of students, and they want.
And they don't want it. Students don't want that.
They want one lunch, people, and I support them. I love this.
Yeah, it's very sweet. It's very wholesome, and it's quite frankly, it's adorable. I find it to be adorable.
It's a quickly disappearing innocence of youth, that this is the problem facing the students in these 7 Seattle schools.
it's lovely to think that this is the biggest thing on their radar. I think people forget that sometimes, that they're still very young. These are very young people, and they all walk around and they have Labubu's or whatever the things are that kids want these days, Beanie Babies, whatever it is. And they should be leading simple lives, and yet, because the world is a tough place and parents put too much on their kids and they give them phones, which I think are evil, kids are aware of everything happening at all times. And that's a lot for a grown, developed brain to handle. And so for a child, even more so, it can probably feel like just everything is anxious and anxiety levels are through the roof.
Yeah.
So give them their one lunch, folks. Don't you think?
Well, I don't think you can give them the one lunch. I understand that the logistical technicalities or technical difficulties.
Oh, I forgot. You disagree with this.
Well, I think, if you got too many kids for one lunch, you can't
say
give them.
Split them up.
Split them up. But
tear them apart, Spike said.
That's what I said. You
tear them apart.
How about no lunch?
Just focus on your phones and keep your head down and eat quickly. No, my point being, sometimes we all went through this of multiple lunches, and the luxury of having everybody eat lunch at the same time is a thing of the past.
Yeah.
You just can't feed the kids adequately with the amount of resources and staffing available.
That's what they say. Blah, blah, blah. Exactly, Laura. That's what they say.
Truly, I think that they need to win this one. I think it would make the kids feel amazing to win this. I think it would show that you can stand up to red tape.
Next? One library?
And bureaucracy.
Oh, yeah, they got that, yeah.
And you can take a stand and you can face down overpaid school administrators and you can have real conversations with them, make them change their minds.
Over
I
lunch.
love this.
I'm
watching in real time.
Yeah.
Laura just growing and developing.
I know.
I don't think a year ago you would have been critical of these administrators' high pay, but I'm so glad you are now because it's worth noting these people make an insane amount of money.
For $400,000 a year, this is the least they can do.
The least they can do.
Is listen to the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the activism.
$40,000 a month. That's what these people are making. $40,000 a month. You tell me these kids can't have one lunch, Spike?
That's how much I make a year.
That's insane.
Well, we should march the administration office right now.
Let's march upstairs.
Let's go to lunch on Monday.
Let's at least get you lunch. Let's get Laura lunch. Let's get Laura lunch.
Yeah.
That's insane, though. And these school administrators, so here's the problem that I have with all these people. You have the superintendents of these schools who are making ungodly salaries. I don't know when they started making in excess of $400,000 a year. There's one in the state who makes $550,000 a year. I can't even do that math. And we talked about it like a week ago. We were talking about one of these schools who claimed that they didn't have money for some stuff. They had 5 assistant superintendents, all making north of $250,000 a year.
Mr. Monday, Mr. Tuesday, Miss Wednesday. I got a girl.
You know what? Hire more lunch ladies. Hire more cafeteria workers.
Give them the money.
Buy some extra tables if 100%. It feels overcrowded.
Yep. I bet you could do a lot more with an extra lunch lady than an extra assistant superintendent.
We don't need a 6th assistant superintendent.
I do feel really defensive of them because these are kids who had their social lives shut down during COVID, and now they're old enough to be able to protest and speak out and organize. And they say that's really going to impact clubs meeting during lunch. Yeah. And administrators your clubs can meet before school, after school. In today's environment, with how competitive college applications are, kids are scheduled within an inch of their life. Yeah. Lunchtime chess club, that might be the only time that they can fit something like that in between soccer and dance. And
You're on the side. You're on the right side of history here, Laura. You're on the right side of history. And Spike, who wants to tear these kids apart, who doesn't believe in friendship, who doesn't believe
Spike O'Neill, anti-child,
anti-nutrition,
who believes in the bloated bureaucracy of these administrators, who just wants to see them lining their fat pockets. That's what Spike O'Neill wants to see.
Save more money for the boss would sure be great. Yeah, the chance just writes itself.
Okay.
By the way, if they had chess club or they had checkers club instead of chess club, you could play with food and eat and play checkers club at the same time.
It's interesting. These clubs cost the school nothing. They cost the school nothing.
They're self-organized. The kids put them together. Maybe a teacher chaperones it.
Maybe if they can find a teacher to step in and sponsor them. And the schools, because they're so bad at managing funds, because they're paying their administrative staff so much money, the schools are cutting out things like music.
Yeah, they are.
And other artistic programs. You know what I mean?
Extracurriculars are going away. Yep.
It's ridiculous, and now you're trying to steal these poor kids.
These are kids. We talk about this all the time. They just need socialization. They need times to be around other kids, not with a head in a book or on a phone or
staring
on
at their stupid
tablets
phones
that the school gives them. this is the time to just classic high school.
Just let them chew their gum.
Am I convincing you, Spike? Are we convincing you?
No, but I love how hard you're trying. It's wonderful.
He's against it. He's against it.
I'm against kids.
Okay.
And you've
Laura,
always said that.
That's a great story. He hates kids. Let's end it there.
That was
Spike
my
hates
favorite
kids.
story of the week.
All right, Spike, what's the one that you love?
Oh,
What's the story
man.
you love?
I have to own this one because my favorite story of the week stems from my week's experience of using light rail. You've been kind of you encouraged me to use light rail early in the summer when I got the flip the trip card free from Sound Transit.
No, I challenged you.
You challenged me to take the train, I ignored it. And this week, out of necessity, because we had a mechanical issue at one of our cars at home and I didn't have access, I got my bike out of the garage, dusted it off, charged up the battery because it's an electric bike, and took the train every day this week. And I've loved it. I've absolutely loved using my bike on light rail. Loved it so much I forgot to pay.
That's generous.
I'll lie to these people.
Generous with yourself.
I skipped the fare.
I can't believe you told us. I can't believe you admitted to that.
Well, I did. I skipped the fare, and the only reason I brought it up was because I ran into a fare enforcement officer on the train, and that's what I love about this story is that they're actually going to start making people pay to ride the trains, myself included. Mm-hmm. We're not doing the city any favors.
That part's not true, but continue.
And the story then broke that fare gates are going to be put up in a pilot project
because they're trying to figure
out how to make people pay for this train because they need the 1.5% of funding.
Fare recovery.
That fare recovery is going to pay for the maintenance, the annual maintenance costs, and running of the train.
I'm so glad that you picked this story because what it does is it really highlights on like many different levels what a farce this whole thing is.
Yeah.
Number one, and I don't need you to agree with that. I don't need you to say that.
No. The numbers bear it out.
The numbers don't lie. Number one, 2 weeks ago, Sound Transit comes to us. They didn't come to us. They just put it out quietly.
They didn't ask.
We're going to need an extra $35 billion, which is going to bring the grand total of the money being spent on this ST3, which would theoretically be the largest part of the expansion, to $185 billion. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then we find out that when you jump on the train without a ticket, whatever, your words, not mine, you don't get a ticket, and a fare enforcement officer approaches you and gives you a ticket, which is not really a ticket, it is a warning.
No. So it says no action needed, right?
No
action needed. First thing it says. Not a scofflaw. It says, hey, no action needed.
They say, don't worry about it. And so, and then my question was, well, how many of those do you get before? We have it on the streaming right now. How many of these tickets do you get before there's actually some punitive damage?
Well, you get the first two are just warnings.
The first two are warnings automatically.
Within a 12-month period.
Yeah.
Right? And it refreshes every 12 months, I guess.
But then the third and fourth tickets you might get are what?
You get more. You get actual tickets on 3 and 4, but there are monetary and non-monetary ways.
So you can choose a non-monetary warning for third and fourth as well.
Right.
So they're padding the numbers now.
Right, yes.
And they're just saying, hey, you know what? We just want people on the train, so we're just going to keep giving out warnings. Why stop at 4? Why not give like a baker's dozen? Why not do 13 warnings?
Well, your fifth one actually costs you $124 to skip the $3 fare to get on the train.
I would like to see how many of these things have actually issued to people that actually pay them. What's the teeth on that? What are they going to stop you from doing? Riding the train?
Well, they're going to start sending you a ticket in the mail for $124. If you don't pay that, they'll send out the collection with penalties and late fees. You'll start to really make some real money happen.
I would like to see, honestly, how many of those they've actually successfully recovered funds from. Because now they're saying, when this initially started, they said our goal for Sound Transit is to have 40% of the operating costs come from fare recovery. So people who pay tickets, unlike Spike, who ride the trains, we want to get 40% of our budget, which is $4.4 billion a year, through fare recovery. They since lowered that number when they said, well, that's ridiculous. We're not going to get 40%. So they dropped it to 20%. And now the number they're shooting for is 1.5%, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is set up to fail. Or maybe this was the point all along. Maybe they don't really care about any money being recovered from it. I guess I would have to say that's the point. The point is they just want to have the mass transit. Nobody's going to pay to ride this thing because they're not. Even in best case scenario, it's 1.5%.
Well, I think they are going to pay. I think they're going to realize that you're going to have to stop letting people on until you've guaranteed that they've paid.
That's what they're saying now.
That's
Dow
what they're
Constantine's saying we need to put up turnstiles or fare stuff.
Fare gates, something.
Try to get people to make sure they're paying on these trains. But Good luck. You have these people on a steady diet of free trains, and now you're going to tell them all of a sudden you have to start paying for these things? I would be shocked, because once they see, here's my worry. Once they start to actually require people to pay.
Fair enforcement.
What if people stop riding the train? What do you do in that situation? Because you have pinned everything on this being a resounding success. You've spent so much money on this thing.
Yeah.
If people stop riding it.
I don't think people are going to stop riding if you make them pay. I think the wrong people, like the
they're not riding
squatters,
it now, and they don't make them pay. You know what I mean? It's like you're creating a barrier to people getting on the train now.
Yeah.
Right now, it's free, basically.
There's no barrier.
And nobody really rides it.
I finally met after like the 5th day in a row and the 7th time this month.
Yeah.
I finally ran into a fair enforcement officer.
And your issue was you weren't using the free payment card that they issued you.
Right.
So it wasn't even like
I wasn't giving them back their money that they gave me to ride the damn train.
You were
the bribe.
already playing with house money.
Yeah.
And so what are they going to do when people stop riding this thing?
I don't know.
I don't know. I know you don't have an answer for that.
I think people are going to ride. I think once they get the spine built and they get the thing from Everett to Tacoma, they're going to have some ridership. And if it's only 1.5% of operating costs that they recoup, that's what it is. I think the tax-based investment in infrastructure is a necessity because people are still moving here. They're going to keep coming here. The roads aren't getting any wider. If you get 1.5% of the drivers off the road, that's still 1.5% of the drivers off the road. It's still a necessity. It may be it's a horrible money deal.
The money that they're spending on this, it does not pencil out. For me,
$55,000 per person. Isn't that what Charlie Harger told us?
Per person.
$55,000 per person.
You are responsible for $55,000 that now needs to be recovered to pay for this train.
Yeah.
Are you in your lifetime going to get $55,000 worth of value?
Not
out of the
have to
light
pay.
rail?
No, never, ever.
You
ever.
And your children. Think about this. Everybody listening right now. You and your children, if you live in the area where you have been taxed for this, it will be $55,000 that you are responsible for in order to pay for this train.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to come and knock on your door, but essentially that's what is being spent on your behalf to make sure that we have this train that, again...
That's the tax revenue we'll have to generate.
I don't know how people are going to ride it or if they're going to ride it, if they're suddenly forced to pay. And even if they do, how many people can you even fit on this thing?
Right.
And then the amount of money being spent. Good.
My bike's so big, 2 people can't get on.
That's right. But it was fine because there was nobody on when you got on.
Right. Plenty of room.
Fine. Plenty of room. Okay, really fast.
We have time for yours?
I don't know if we have time for mine. We might have to come back and talk about it. I'll set it up, and then we'll come back to it.
Fair enough.
There was, earlier in the week, the mayor of Everett, who's a lady by the name Cassie Franklin, who was talking to, I believe she talked to KIRO News about this, talking about Kroger, who has announced that they're going to be closing down 60 locations nationwide, 6 of them here in Washington State. I believe 5 Fred Meyer and 1 QFC.
That's
Kroger
exactly
owns
right, yeah.
all these different brands. And one of those locations is in the city of Everett, and it is on Evergreen Way. Now, this is actually interesting. You guys should check this out. Chris Sullivan, who's a wonderful guy here, Chris Sullivan, he posted a video of him walking around the other day, that Everett location of Fred Meyer.
Okay.
Because he's up north like I am. This is a Fred Meyer that I've been in countless times. I think this was where Chris used to shop. And it is a ghost town right now because it's shutting down. There's they're getting rid of everything.
Right.
And so he posts a video walking around it. It's truly bizarre to watch. And it's sad because this used to be, a main part of the community. This is where people would go. And the big complaint is you now have this area where they call like a food desert. Now, where are people going to go get their groceries? Right. Where are they going to go to their pharmacy, fill their prescriptions, things like that. So she starts talking about how Kroger is, and we have audio of all this. She's saying Kroger has really broken the community's trust. And this is corporate neglect that they're leaving the city of Everett and all these other places like Lake City and Seattle. And my contention is, and we'll talk about this in a second, I think there's a lot of other things contributing to why Kroger decided to pull that Fred Meyer out of the neighborhood. And we'll discuss that next because I do think it's worth mentioning that there are several factors that go into why a business like that would decide not to do business anymore in an area where they've been for years. I mean, it's a big deal that they're pulling out. So we will play.
It's a resource to the neighborhood that is going away. The concerns are valid for the communities, for the mayor of Everett, who's invested her city's time and resources in trying to work with Kroger to improve the scenario. Well,
I disagree on that.
I can respect that.
And we'll talk about that next.
Sure.
So stick around, come back, and we will play this audio and we'll hash it out. We'll be right back. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM, powered by MyNorthwest.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came packed to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-266-3845. Again, that's 800-266-3845. 800-266-3845.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years.
That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us. Clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Costco, Hagen's, or Whole Foods. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
If you're a veteran struggling with your monthly bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage has some good news for you.
Rates have dropped recently, and this could be a great time for our veterans to think about a cash-out refinance to get out of your high-interest rate debt. For example, one of our clients had a 2.25% VA loan, but he owed more than $155,000 on credit cards and a home equity loan. So we paid off all of that debt and replaced his mortgage with a VA cash-out refinance. And the new VA loan saved him $1,268 per month. So give us a call and see if a VA cash out refi can help save you money. And remember, with a VA loan, you can buy a home with no money down.
And you can help non-veterans as well.
That's right. If you have a conventional loan, we'll run the numbers and see if we can help save you money too.
Honest advice you can trust from the VA loan experts, Best Mortgage. Call now, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early, we're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement, starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today. irgpt.com.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the Comfort People at homecomfortalliance.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The Army now confirms 4 soldiers based at Joint Base Lewis McChord likely died when their helicopter crashed about 20 miles west of Olympia. KIRO News Radio's Heather Bosch has the latest.
The soldiers were assigned to the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment at JBLM.
Also known as the Night Stalkers, and they are one of the Army's most elite aviation units.
Jacqueline Hill with Public Affairs. Their Black Hawk helicopter crashed at night in heavily wooded hills. Efforts are underway to determine the cause of what the military calls a mishap and recover the 4 soldiers' remains.
And their sacrifice will never be forgotten.
Heather Bosch, KIRO News Radio.
Newly appointed Federal Vaccine Committee just finished its 2-day meeting with some new recommendations. CBS medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder.
So the ACIP recommended that everyone 6 months of age or older may get the COVID vaccine through shared clinical decision-making with their healthcare provider. No prescription is required to get the COVID vaccine.
King County Sheriff's Office is offering a big payday in its search for new hires. Sheriff Patty Cole-Tyndall explains any current law enforcement officer in our states will get a $40,000 signing bonus if they join.
Every single agency in the state, we're all competing for the same pool of candidates.
There are 95 vacancies at the King County Sheriff's Office right now. More than 2 weeks of road work is now underway on eastbound I-90, slowing you down between Mercer Island and Bellevue. KIRO 7 TV's Renji Sinha reports crews are repairing an expansion joints on the East Channel Bridge.
From now until October 5th, yes, I said October 5th, crews are going to be working on eastbound I-90. WashDOT says the roadway will be cut to 3 lanes with reduced speeds between Island Crest Way and Mercer Island to Bellevue Way. So that's the stretch where you're going to feel the impact.
And that takes us to 2:32. We go to Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Speaking of that, right now traffic is heavy across the entire length of Mercer Island headed eastbound. This report brought to you by Kia of Everett up in Marysville, South 5 at State Route 528. A collision that was blocking just moved to your left shoulder, but it was there long enough to create a bumper-to-bumper backup starting at 88th. Marysville to Everett's going to take you 15 minutes. Going the other way, Everett to Marysville, you're pushing 25 minutes. It's crowded from the Boeing Freeway into Marysville, and it gets pretty thick starting at the Snohomish River. Up in Snohomish County through Stanwood, we've got a collision South 5 just prior to State Route 532. It's blocking 2 right lanes. Right now, you're in a 1.5 mile backup. Eastbound 2, you're still packed between Monroe and Sultan. Linwood to Seattle, 40 minutes, bumper to bumper from Northgate into downtown. And in Tacoma, road work has 2 right lanes blocked. Westbound 16, right on the Narrows Bridge for expansion joint repairs. The Jackson Avenue on-ramp is closed as well, and you're backed up all the way onto I-5. It's taking you about a half hour to clear this backup. Thinking of a Kia EV? Act fast. Thousands in tax credits end September 30th. Visit KiaofEverett.com for their huge selection. Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Nice afternoon, mostly sunny, highs in the mid-70s today. Tomorrow looks nice, then some showers developing Saturday nights into Sunday. Right now, 72 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. This is a special 2-segment edition of Friday Favorites. All right, my Friday favorite this week was a story we did about the Kroger's decision to close down a bunch of locations. I'm not happy about that, but I find the story very interesting. It's a case of she said, they said. Mm-hmm. So Kroger is saying it's because of theft and it's a tough place to do business because of regulations. The mayor of Everett is Cassie Franklin, and she is saying, no, you guys are leaving because of corporate neglect. In fact, last night, the Everett City Council voted 6-1 to approve a resolution rebuking, actually this is Wednesday night, rebuking supermarket giant Kroger for its plan to close the South Everett Fred Meyer store. This is from an MSN story. The non-binding resolution, which means it doesn't mean anything, I guess, is the latest fallout from the Kroger announced plans in August to close 5 Fred Meyer locations in Washington State. So they've officially rebuked Fred Meyer and Kroger for doing this. And she said in her comments, I believe this was to KIRO News Radio, she says that Kroger has betrayed Everett's trust.
We feel that it's an act of corporate neglect, betrays the community's trust.
And she also thinks that Kroger has been blaming crime for this, but she says that can't be the case because we've been cleaning up the area.
When they called to tell me the store was closing, they did not mention crime. They said financial losses on behalf of the store. And then later in the media, they said, well, crime and regulation. Well, we have worked in partnership with Kroger for the last couple of years, might be even more than 2 or 3 years. We've had emphasis patrols. We've sent social workers. We even established a new high impact buffer zone around the store. And all of that has worked. Notably, crime is down all over in that area. But shoplifting is by 80%. We put in the effort. We made those investments, yet the store didn't continue to invest in their facility and are frustrated that it wasn't making, as much money as some of their other stores where you see them closing stores, is most notably in working class neighborhoods. And they're happy with their stores in more affluent neighborhoods. And that just shows that they are not interested in serving working class communities. And that's a real disappointment.
So she says that they're not interested in serving the working class communities. And I put the question out there. I did not get a response from her about this, but I asked, does she think also, because I want to give Everett credit, if they have increased emphasis patrols, if they have decreased the theft at this location and in the surrounding area, and they've actually tried to buckle down on a situation that was untenable and very bad. I mean, everybody that we've talked to at some of these other locations, we had a guy on the show a couple weeks ago who lives across from one of the Fred Meyer's locations closing in Lake City. And he says it's very bad. Mm-hmm. And, there's constantly, he's walking past people doing drugs and there's needles on the ground. And he's there. He's a stay-at-home dad who has 2 little kids that he takes shopping with him. And he's like, yeah, it was disgusting. It was no good to walk into. So if Everett is doing their work to clean that up, good on them. That's great.
Right.
And there are parts of Everett that I think are getting very nice. I also talked about how the Everett waterfront is beautiful now. It looks like you're in San Diego.
Right.
It's lovely.
Well, except for the gray. But yeah.
Except for the gray. Yeah. But
right now it looks like San Diego.
The boats are nice. There's new restaurant space.
No, I hear you. They're investing in your experience and the atmosphere.
100%.
Yeah, the amenities. You bet.
I don't think it's completely fair for her to say that this is just them not investing in this community and trying to leave working class people behind. I mean, they come from Cincinnati. That's a working class town. Mm-hmm. That's where Kroger is based.
Right.
And I think probably what they're seeing is a huge part of that is the cost, the operating cost of doing business in Washington, and we talked about this the other day.
Sure.
Everett has the 5th highest minimum wage in the country, and it follows 4 other local cities. Washington has a really high minimum wage. Like our state minimum wage is $16.66 an hour.
Yeah.
And then you have all these other cities who are like SeaTac and Renton, I think, has a very high one as well. Burien has
And Everett,
the highest in the country. Why? And Everett is right in line there. They say, hey, if you have over a certain number of employees, it's going to be $20.24 an hour. If you're mid-range, it's going to be $18.24 an hour. Those are both quite a bit higher than $16.66 an hour. And then you're asking the company to just shoulder that, just because you've decided.
Right, to run a location at an even thinner profit margin, a 1.7 profit margin Kroger is operating under during the last quarter.
Yeah.
That's their reported profit margin.
Yeah.
But you also got, and I understand that that's an economic reality Kroger's dealing with.
Sure.
But they've also had a massive stock buyback for their shareholders to the tune of like billions of dollars. And those two things are both true.
When you say stock buyback, so the value of the company is going up.
Yeah.
And they're making decisions to leave areas where they're not making as much money. Instead, they're investing in communities where they're going to be making money.
Much higher profit margin, where there's a lower cost of living, lower minimum wage for their employees.
But it's tough for me to argue against a company doing that. That's the nature of a company.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that either.
Yeah.
But one thing what the mayor is asking, look, is, we understand you're in business to make money. You've got responsibility to stockholders. We get all that.
Yeah.
But don't come back and then say, well, we're blaming it on crime. We're blaming it on regulations. If you're a business that needs to justify what you earn and you don't earn enough to stay in business in Everett or Lake City, that's cool. Own it.
Here's what they should do. Here's what I think they should do, honestly. So California is seeing something similar with the gas and oil industry. I was just reading this really big, interesting piece in Reuters about how California has been very, very critical of gas and oil businesses for a long time.
Yeah.
And now California is losing. They're going to lose by April of 2026, 20% of their refineries. That's a big number. 20%.
Lose them to what?
They're leaving. They're packing up and leaving California.
Oil companies leaving because of regulatory.
They're saying regulations have made it so expensive for us to do business here. We're happy to do it in another state where it's a little more friendly. The problem with that is that you end up running into a situation like California is about to face where they're projecting by next year to hit $8 a gallon in gasoline cost, because the refineries, they're going to have to ship in oil from other places.
Right.
It's just gotten really bad. The 6th largest oil refinery in the state, which produces 10% of California's gasoline, has just announced that they're leaving. So California government stepped in and they said, hey, what if we gave you guys $200 million and we'll run this for you? We'll fix up all this stuff. We really want to keep the business here.
Invest in the refinery.
And the refinery said, it's still not worth it to us. We're leaving.
They can do better business.
We can do
make
better
more money
business
elsewhere.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I just wondered, that's the nature of these big businesses who are looking at they're not looking at one piece on the board. They're looking at the whole board. And she might be complaining about it happening in Everett.
Mm-hmm.
What is she doing aside from, this is expected. I don't think we should be giving a big win for saying that, hey, we've decreased crime by 80%. If it was really high, it's your job as the mayor to run a city based on laws. And if there's people out front doing drugs, you failed. You shouldn't have those people out front doing drugs. This is her job. So forgive me for not celebrating that she's doing her job. The idea that maybe she should say to Kroger instead, hey, what can we do to get you to stay in business here? We understand that maybe there's some other places, some other markets are a little friendlier. Mm-hmm. Good Lord, look at our minimum wage. It's very, very high. What can we do? Tax breaks? What can we do to make it so we can, try to move some money around to give you the opportunity to stay here and help the community? But if they're not doing that, then I don't know what they're complaining about.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. And she said that it doesn't seem like Kroger is willing to even talk to them anymore with regard to what would it take. She never said that to them. At least not that I know of.
And
never said.
I know that they had exchanged some emails back and forth. Said hey, what can we do to try to make this make sure that when you guys sell the property, it's going to be developed,
repurposed quickly,
whatever the thing was.
Yeah.
But just like those oil refineries in California, there is just a breaking point where a company says, I can't afford to do business here because I can do it somewhere else, and my job is to the share. My responsibility is to the shareholders. It's not to necessarily the people in the neighborhood. As cold-hearted as that sounds.
No, that's what business is.
But those businesses can't survive otherwise. And how do you manage that? So the city of Everett, I think, managed this very poorly, is my guess.
Well, like you said, the fact that you let it become a place that
Fred Meyer feels they can't do business. Kroger feels they can't do business anymore.
Yeah. And it's great that they cut down on the theft and the drugs
Maybe
and all that
help
stuff.
them get a replacement tenant that offers a grocery option for this community.
Well,
that's because that's what's left. That's what's coming.
I doubt that's going to happen. We'll see. I mean, hopefully they can get somebody to fill that void. All right, we got text messages coming up next, which is going to be great, and lots of other fun stuff. Stick around.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 17, Dave Craig, quarterback. All he did was figure out how to complete passes and how to win football games, and in the process, he won the hearts of not only the fans, but his own teammates. They loved the guy we used to call Mudbone.
The Seahawks go for 2 straight wins. Seahawks Saints kickoff Sunday at 1:05.
The 12s hear the Hawks right here on KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today. The real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Cars for Kids, your trusted charity for car donations, also accepts donations of boats, RVs, motorcycles, and real estate. Call today, 877-CARS4KIDS.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Welcome back to the show. We got text messages galore. Why don't we start us off here? We got an interesting one to start with.
Yeah, we got a request for Spike. Rick the plumber says,
this is exciting.
What a week listening to all the shows. Seems like we had a bit of a rise in division this week. What would help, you say? Spike needs to close out the week by singing the Brady Bunch song.
Oh, the Brady Bunch theme?
Sure. Should we open with it or close with it? I mean, we can...
Let's
do we acapella? Give me a bed, music bed.
I think we should close with it.
Okay.
That will give Andrew some time to maybe get a
find
Brady
me
Bunch
an
theme.
instrumental version of the Brady Bunch.
Instrumental, and you can sing it, and we'll.
I'd be happy to. For Rick, my favorite plumber.
That's nice. Let me read this next one because it's sent to me. Rich and Burien, and this is on treasuring time with your kids while they're still kids. Rich and Burien says, Jake, that moment for me was every time my sons would fall asleep in the car and I'd get them out of their car seat and carry them up to their rooms and their heads asleep on my shoulder so that I could tuck them into bed. There's the saddest thing that I heard once. One day your father set you down and never picked you up again. Oh, that hurts. With both of my sons, I missed the last time and suddenly they were too big to pick up again. It just kills me. That... Rich, thank you for that, but it also is really sad to hear that.
Happy Friday.
One day your father set you down and never picked you up again. I want to go give my dad a hug right now. Good golly. Thank you, Rich.
It was beautiful. On the labor organization that endorsed both candidates for mayor, SVW in Tacoma says, it's like asking your mom who your favorite kid is. She really does know, by the way, but she won't tell you who it is.
They endorsed, MLK Labor endorsed both Katie Wilson and Bruce Harrell.
Yeah, but look at John from Snohomish's
John
take.
from Snohomish says, I love this, showing that both candidates have valid reasons to be elected.
Thank you, John. Or neither do. Let's go on.
On the Care Bears, 808 says, well-trained mental health professionals are, in fact, able to de-escalate situations and immobilize people having manic episodes without weapons. It's borderline offensive to characterize well-meaning mental health professionals as someone who's going to just come out and say, give a hug. I would love to see Care Bear teams in action.
This actually gave me an idea.
We would love for us to see Care Bear
that gave me an
action.
idea. Is like maybe we could do a ride-along with one of the Care Bears.
With the Care team member?
Yeah.
Well, there was nothing offensive about that. We were saying it puts Care... I was saying it puts Care members in a position that they may not want to be in, which is that you could be responding to somebody having a severe mental health episode who then does you bodily harm.
Yeah.
Because there's no... Currently, they go out with police officers. And if there's no cop there to back you up and to provide protection...
Yeah, that's all. That's all we're saying is let's not put them in
I'm
risk of greater
not assaulting the
help.
Care Bears.
Yeah.
on SeaTac's low rating among airports. Christine in Renton says, I wish SeaTac had shopping passes. I don't always want to fly somewhere. When I go to the airport, I don't have enough time. I just want to go there and shop and have lunch. That's interesting.
You want to pay $8 for a cup of soup?
A security problem, though, right? If you just have all these people shopping.
I don't know. I've never found the greatest bargains at the airport.
Yeah, it's usually
You're
pretty
kind
expensive.
of a captive audience at the airport.
Good luck waiting in line to get your beachers if there's more people there who
That's
aren't
true.
even rushing to flights. Anyway, Adam in Mount Lake Terrace says SeaTac does have a lot of live music that plays, which is very nice. And that's
cool.
true. Yeah, they
Yeah.
do that, especially over the holidays. They'll bring in local bands, and
That is nice.
very fun, lively.
On high schoolers in Seattle protesting for one lunch, 425 says, damn it, yes, lunch, one lunch. We already took away landlines, now no cell phones. They need to gather and talk together.
There's a lot to that.
Yeah, I think that's a nice idea.
360 says, when I was in high school in Highline, 1974, we had 3 lunch periods, and we put up with it. We also learned the world isn't going to baby you all your life.
Well, that's true, too. Yeah, 360, you make a good point.
Ian Puyallup says in 2 years, they'll be making minimum wage without a lunch break. Ban clubs, and students can eat at their desks.
Oh, my God.
Lunch breaks are legally required, so.
Sorry, buddy.
What a dark view of the future. That's hilarious.
Oh, wait till you get to Sean and Arlington's.
Let's do it now.
Let's not wait.
Is it a little bit ironic that schools cut out the extracurricular stuff like music, the kind of things that actually improve your academic functionality, and reduce the curriculum to training children to become exact kind of robots that they could just hire to solve the staffing problem? Oh, yeah, that's dark.
That is...
Sean, you are a dark individual.
We love you. Thanks for being here with us.
We are getting near the time where we need to have you start singing.
Let's do it.
Let's sing it.
Yeah.
Do you want the full instrumental or the one you can sing along with the regular?
I'll sing along with it. Sure. Let's why subject the audience.
This is in response to Rick the plumber, who wants to see a little more unity.
Help heal the division in this country, which I don't know this is going to do, but let's have it.
And he says big smiles here.
Here's a story of a lovely lady, you know this, who was bringing up 3 very lovely girls. Oh, yeah, all of them had hair of gold, like their mother, the youngest one in curls. If you had a lift, curls story of a man named Brady who was gay, who was busy with 3 boys of his own. What? That's the rumor. They were 4 men, sometimes 5 living all together. All alone.
This took another weird turn.
When the lady met this fellow, and we knew that it was much more than a hunch. That this group must somehow form a family. They had used the word hunch. Way they all became the Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch with a lady named Alice
The Brady Bunch.
She was making sandwiches. That's the way we became the Brady Bunch.
Good way to end, folks. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
The Northwest's trusted news source, KIRO Newsradio.
Police in Federal Way are investigating what appears to be a car explosion.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live from the neighborhood.
I can't tell you enough how crazy this scene is here.
Coverage you depend on.
A massive police presence in Kent.
From voices you know and trust.
We have an active fire inside one of these buildings here.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Many retirees are enjoying the retirement lifestyle, but not the high cost of living. We're here with our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage, who says a reverse mortgage may provide some stress relief.
If you're struggling with your mortgage payments or other bills, or maybe you just like some extra money, a reverse mortgage allows you to tap your home equity for tax-free cash. You've worked hard to build up that equity in your home. Now let it work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
But as you always say, a reverse mortgage is not for everyone.
That's right. Avoid the high-pressure sales pitch from those out-of-state call centers. I give you a consultation, not a sales pitch. I'll tell you if a reverse mortgage is right for you, and I always tell you if it's not.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts. Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts and debt consolidation specialists too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Switching bath soap from sandalwood to tropical essence? That's glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Tolling September 29th. Free Good to Go sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
The celebration is on for the 21st anniversary at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort. They're turning up the excitement from October 1st through the 28th with special events, entertainment, and unforgettable experiences. Come celebrate over 2 decades of memories at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort. Whether you're stopping by for a night out or planning a weekend escape, there's something for everyone. Feel the energy, enjoy the festivities, and be part of the party. October 1st through the 28th, only at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort.
Open enrollment for Medicare is coming up. Are you ready? Herb Weisbaum, the consumer man here. Get organized early with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit from the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Order your free copy today at insurance.wa.gov.
KIRO FM and HD1 to